Let's go. If you just let go.
Have the best mother in the world.
I don't know about all that.
I'm just
I
trying
got
to tell
the best
you,
mother in the
best
whole
mother in the
world.
world. But
You may got number 2. I got number 1. I love you, mama. Actually, you may got number 3 because I got 2 of them. Betty Ann Givens and Terry Ross. I love you. Brian Bullock got number 3.
I got the third best mother in the world.
There you go. You're at my table.
While I'm on the table.
Yeah.
On her best day,
Yeah.
she'll never be my father.
Ooh, you just upsetting some people.
I understand that. But we have to. We cannot erase fatherhood.
But what about
Because there's
these?
so many bad fathers. And
Right.
here's why I don't celebrate single moms on Father's Day.
Okay.
Because whatever you celebrate will be repeated. And in the celebration of a single mom on Father's Day, what I'm actually doing is repeating the cycle that dads don't matter.
Reverb Experiment episode number
49.
49.
We out here. He loves starting out with violence immediately.
Kind of got to.
We got one more to 50. Steph is back.
I'm back in the building. It felt like it's been 2 years.
2 years for what?
Matter of fact, we
Since
back.
I've been here.
We back.
I was about to say, because I'm like, I was gone and we was all gone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You missed like a cool 2 months,
So look,
month and a half.
so we apologize for missing the last episode. We just wanted to be safe. As you guys know, COVID has been having some spikes. So nobody had COVID that's on the show, but we may have been around people that have. So we just wanted to be safe. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me?
That's just how we roll. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with violence because it's Father's Day tomorrow.
That clip was beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna just get right on into it. Welcome to the Reverb Experiment Podcast. We love y'all. But since we've been off, we missed last episode, we're gonna just get right into it. And we're gonna do all the YouTube likes, algorithm shit later.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's go.
Tomorrow's Father's Day. We also celebrating Juneteenth, so we wanna, do that. But for Father's Day, because I've seen this kind of sprinkled around, I know it has definitely triggered the men for sure that single mothers are celebrating Father's Day. How do we feel about single mothers celebrating Father's Day?
Selfish.
I've always been against it.
Oh, we actually all agree for once.
Oh yeah,
Hold on, we
that's an
hold
easy
on.
one.
Okay.
I've always been. You know what I think too? Because we know there are fathers that are not around, but I feel like even those women, there is somebody you could still celebrate.
That's what I'm saying. Like you
You know what I mean? There's somebody that's
brother.
stepping in and doing something, and why not appreciate them for stepping in?
Because, like I said, it's selfish. They wanna be praised for doing what they say is everything, right? If you saying that you're doing everything, that just sounds like you just haven't allowed yourself to. You haven't had anybody in your life you can trust to be able to be that father figure in your child's life. That sucks for you. That don't mean that, that's all about you. You had your day. So don't like he said, don't celebrate something that you shouldn't be celebrating. That's not, you shouldn't be happy about that.
I think it's too seeing everybody else celebrating and that hurt of wanting to, you know what I mean, letting that hurt out.
Man, this ain't participation.
I think that's what it is. You see everybody else celebrating, and you just want to reiterate.
Yeah, you want to be part of the celebration because you feel like you're gonna be left out, and you feel like you deserve participation trophies.
Or maybe you feel like your kid is missing something, and you feel away. So you have to portray that I'm doing it all. They're not lacking because this person is not doing what they're supposed to do.
All right.
I think that's what it is sometimes too.
Sucks for you.
Sucks for the child.
Yeah, so I guess I'm trying to form this question. What I think you touched on it, but I'm gonna ask B this question too. Why do you think they do that? Why do you think that the single mothers say I'm both mom and dad?
Because that's just what they've been doing for a while. The whole being proud that I can do this shit on my own. I got you got to understand, like, this whole I get it from the mud, I get it from the gutter shit is praised. So the whole thing of I'm doing this on my own is praised. They want to show that I've been doing this by myself. There's a lot of times there are options. A lot of women have options for help. They don't want help. They rather be like, I did this shit on my own. They don't. A lot of times there's this whole, I don't want nobody to hold anything above me. I don't want nobody to say that they help me. I want to be able to say I did this on my own. But shit, you don't. Why are you glorifying struggling? That's not okay.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Like, you can have the easy route and you be all right. If you can take the easy route and get your goals faster than trying to do this shit all on your own, why the fuck would you not? There's too many. I'm gonna do this shit on my own. It's gonna take hella fucking long, but I'm gonna do this shit on my own. Why?
Probably because there's a lot of letdowns too. Like, I feel like once you've been let down a certain amount of times, it's kind of like you don't.
But don't praise the letdowns. Don't praise that
position.
you can't. Don't praise that you ain't got nobody in your life that can help you. That's not okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say praising it. It's just a fact sometimes.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, it's a fact. But when they start talking about, like, I don't got nobody, I don't need nobody, you're kind of praising it.
So let's clarify here, because I don't want to trigger the wrong people, right? So there are single mothers by choice, and there are single mothers that did not have a say-so in the matter, right?
Yeah.
There are single mothers that the dad just left. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But they're all single mothers that they have played a part in pushing the away, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, as a father, I will never, ever, ever justify you not being in a child's life, ever. But we also do need to acknowledge that there are, like you're saying, some of the mothers that do glorify themselves or want to be celebrated because they feel like that, I guess they're more validated if they are independent and do it on their own. Right?
Yeah. There's certain things that you still can't blame on everything else, because if you don't have anybody in your circle, that's your fault. That means you chose that circle. You chose that circle. You have been in that circle long enough to realize these people ain't shit. Why are you still dealing with them? Why are you still in that circle that you know you can't rely on?
Well, I think after you had a child, though,
I'm not just talking about kids. I'm not talking about the father. I'm talking about the village.
The village, right.
If you haven't been able to figure out how to build your village beforehand, then what are you doing now? If you know that the people that you have around are not reliable enough to where you can actually be like, look, I trust you to help me raise my child. I trust you enough to be around my child. That means that you're making bad decisions, not being around people that you can trust.
Well, but I've also seen women that have had the village but will still say, I'm doing everything on my own because it's the parenting.
That's different. That's something right there. They made that choice to not use the people.
Well, no. They're using the people.
But they still getting
But as far as the primary caregiver, they feel like I'm both mom and dad.
Regardless if I have help or not.
Correct.
Yeah, that's delusion.
Because, I mean, think about it. I'm sure you got a village that helps you, but you still
the parent.
She's still the mother. At the end of the day, like, regardless if people is helping you or not, this still my responsibility.
Yeah.
You can't
primarily.
You still can't say that you're taking the role of the father, because you're not. You're still just being you're still being the mother.
Yeah.
You're still being the mother.
Yeah.
You may just have a larger job description. That does not mean right. It does not necessarily mean that you're a father. You're not a father figure.
Larger
and I
job
think
description.
that's what I wanted to get to was what you're saying is, does doing everything equate to mother and father?
No.
Or you're just a mother that has to do more?
Yeah. You're not a father figure. If you are not considered a father figure in somebody's life, do not celebrate Father's Day.
You can't. I mean, that's like a father saying, I'm both mom and dad. You're not. You cannot replace being a mother. You just can't.
You can't.
So it goes both ways.
It does go both ways.
So that's what I mean. If you can't, I don't think there's any woman on the earth that would say a father that is a single father is both mom and dad and can fill that void of a mother.
Correct.
So why, on the other hand, is it, you know what I mean? Is it because you feel like fathers are not as important, so you can do their job, or their job is not necessary? Is that why you feel like you can fill that role?
So that's a good question. Do you think that narrative is being pushed?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a reason behind it?
Yeah.
Because women are generally the primary caregivers, but that part of it does not erase what the father contributes.
Right. But
because it's a specific thing.
I got you saying. But in the narrative or role of saying mom and dad, I'm doing everything on my own, do you believe that that is a narrative to try to erase the importance of the role of a father?
It is. It is a narrative.
I don't think that's what the narrative is for. I believe that the narrative happens because people feel like fathers don't contribute.
But it's pushing the same thing though. It's still pushing the narrative.
I feel like it's a result of,
regardless of how long it's been, because it's not like you gotta remember that shit come back from not just on something that has been created based off of black people's decisions and shit, but based off of the whole if he's in the house, then you're not gonna get supported. So the man has to be out the house. I remember the exact history and shit at the top
as
of my head.
Welfare.
Right, so as far as welfare. So the whole thing was like, get the dad out the house. Next thing you know, he's not there because he was pushed away. And now it's like, I don't have to do anything. I don't need any help because I've been able to do this on my own. So then it gets into being pushed even more to where we're not even necessary, to where you guys kind of say that we're not necessary. So why the fuck are we going to be there?
I feel like
and then it pushes the narrative.
That's
what I'm saying, get into it. It still pushes that. Right, so when we start getting the whole idea that you guys don't need us, and you start even feeling like the same way that you don't need us, you push us away. But that erases the whole fact that there are still black fathers.
I get that. I'm just saying, historically, mothers have done all of the child rearing from the beginning. Like, this is not even before welfare, before anything. Right. Go back to the olden days. It's always been mothers doing the primary caregiving. So I feel like the father's role has always been diminished because I feel like the role wasn't as active as it is now. Like, I feel like now fathers are way more involved in child rearing. Historically, they were not. So I think it's you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like over time, like, since the fathers weren't necessarily in the home, they were the breadwinner, they were out making the money, and the mother raised the children. So I feel like that's where the father role, the fathers sometimes ain't even there, even when they are there, like, even historically. So people have taken that role for granted for centuries. Is how I look at it.
You know what?
That's what I mean.
I'll go ahead, Photo. I think
it shows that there's the lack of appreciation of what he actually is doing.
But the narrative is changing. Like, not even just the narrative, the actual, like I said, fathers being more so primary caregivers. Even if they're not primary caregivers, they're still way more involved, and it doesn't necessarily reflect in how we look at fathers now,
right?
Because how they're looked at historically versus what they're actually doing now is not matching up,
right? And I think, and we're talking about the stereotypical father,
right?
Obviously, there were fathers
even the ones in the home.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Even the ones in the home, you still have that narrative that fathers, like, again, even with the whole movement of getting changing tables in men's restrooms. It's like men don't take care of their children. Like, you know what I mean? So it's those things that it's like, it's just society is not caught up to what men are actually doing, to me.
Right. So in what you just said, which I think you made a very good point, when people say I'm both mom and dad, do you think that when they're saying I'm dad, what could be replaced with that is I'm the provider?
Yeah.
As far as financially, like, I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one that is going to work and providing house, food, shelter.
Then just say I'm doing everything.
Right. No, I know. I'm just saying
there's no replacement when it comes to being the father, because even the father doesn't have to be the one who's providing certain shit, but it's still like that father figure.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I think we're getting to a good part of the conversation. What I'm saying is, do you think that there's a misrepresentation of what a father is or should be, because it's beyond money, right? It's the presence of the father, it's the discipline, it's the wisdom, it's the instruction, it's the guiding, you know what I mean? Like, there's more, it's the protection, it's more than just finances. So I think when people say that, like, I think they're thinking kind of like what you're saying of the stereotypical 1950s, 1960s, mom stays home, watches kids, nurtures them. Father comes home, brings home the bacon, the money, and if they're in trouble, then you need to go talk to your father.
Yeah, it's always been watered down like that.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the role, to me, has always been watered down in the fact of what a father actually brings to the table. It's always been watered down in, I won't even just say just the media, but just even within the community, like our communities, has been watered down, especially after, like, all the stuff that you said, welfare, crack, after all that came in, it just further further, you know what I mean? Like how we already saw fathers. Because I feel like even now, like there's the debate of, you know, mothers do way more than fathers do. And it's like, okay, but does that diminish what the father actually does do or what they do bring to the table? Because it's a specific dynamic and it's a specific, like it's specific to fathers, period.
Right.
Like I really can't explain it no other way. Like
Right.
no matter how big or little, you know what I mean? You feel like as far as like on the day-to-day basis, because it's more to raising kids than just the basics.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's what you instill in them and all that too. Mm-hmm. And certain things that are instilled by the father just cannot be instilled by the mother. Not the same way to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I say that all the time, that masculinity can only bestow masculinity, or in your case, that you have two parents for a reason and you're supposed to get something from each. You know what I mean? You're not going to get, I don't know. It's a interesting conversation, because I think we had this conversation in regards to what is expected from you as a man in just our generation, just period. Like when it comes to, because I've seen dads come in and be like, I'm a good dad, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then like the mom will be like, yeah, like you're giving me diapers, you're giving me money, but he needs you here. Like if you're paying child support, that is not all that your responsibility entails. So it's like you have two coins of it. You got one coin of it where it's a trope, or however you want to explain it, as the dad is responsible for the finances, and that has always been at it. But then on the other side is like there's kids that will say like, man, I just remember growing up and having friends that had like split parents. And then the dad would just be buying them gifts. And then, you know, he was like, but, you know, that's not what I want. That's not what I need.
Time.
I need your presence, not your presence. You know, I think he said that in there. I've heard other people say that before. And it's like, I think we just have such a disconnected view of what a father or man, or what masculinity or what manhood looks like, because all of these kind of toxic, negative things get pushed on us by the media or by social media or by just people from their experiences. And it's like, because really, if you admit that your dad didn't do those things, and what you're kind of admitting is that maybe my childhood was not a good childhood, or I had a trash dad. So it's like, if your dad did shower you with gifts, then it's like some people will celebrate that, like, oh, my dad took care of me. And it's like, yeah, he took care of your financial needs, but what about your emotional needs? What about your spiritual needs? Well, what about just being present with you to be able to pick his brain? You know what I mean? And we talk about breaking generational curses all day, but it's like, how can you break a generational curse if half of you're not able to talk to them about the mistakes that they went through to be able to fix those mistakes? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We don't, like, a lot of us don't even have that kind of relationship with our parents to even have that conversation. But then we get to this day of Father's Day when we say, oh, well, I do everything. But you can't possibly do everything. Well, you can do everything as far as taking care of the child financially and
emotionally, but it's still something. There's still a piece of it that's
missing. Yes.
You know what I mean? And it can be, there's father figures and all that, like I said. But I think too, a part of it is not just society and women, but even men we've had the conversation, their self-worth is tied to money.
Money, yeah.
And it trickles over into fatherhood. We've seen the whole conversation with the whole Nick Cannon having 1 million kids, mm-hmm. and people feeling like, well, if he could afford them, it don't matter. And I'm like, why does it always come down to the money? There's more to fatherhood, and there's more to men than what they provide financially. Absolutely. And if you don't believe that yourself, mm-hmm. then you will believe that you are being a good father if you're providing financially. And I feel like some men are lacking in that area, and I feel like some women believe that they are doing it all because they're feeling that part of the void. I'm paying for everything. Mm-hmm. And if you believe that's what a man brings to the table, then you are doing everything.
Well, and then as a man, if you're not providing, if that's the one thing that you're expected to do, then you lose your self-worth because of that.
And you use your value in the eyes of people that also believe that.
Exactly.
So
I saw you jumping up and down, and I sound like
I was jumping up and down because I was appreciative of this deposit I just got. So I just want to let them.
Let me hold some.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
You feel me? Shout out to the deposits. But I mean, you gotta think about the kind of women who say that. The kind of women who say, I do this on my own. You know, and you don't hear it from women you don't hear from women who lost the father, you know, who you know, he ended up dying one way or another, or whatever, and you don't hear that from them. You know what I mean? Because it's not, they have a different understanding of the importance of him, right? So they're not going to belittle him because, you know, it was important, but it's still not. Even if they're doing it on their own, they're not going to be. You're not going to be doing it like that, right? Most of the time, they say it out that way in spite of because, like, oh yeah, I know you see, I'm doing it on my own. I don't need you.
I got
type,
you.
Right? So it's not that like it's more of it's a show.
It's the intention behind it.
Because
I've heard people that have lost their husbands or lost their dad or not dad, lost the father of their children. And say I am doing it on my own, but it's coming from coming from humility or hurt, right? By saying like I'm doing this out of necessity, not because I want to, but because I have to.
Right.
But then you get, like you said, the other ones that are kind of using it as like throwing it in somebody's face or using it as to kind of prop themselves up, like I don't need that nigga, like I can do it on my own. You know what I mean?
And also, too, a lot of times it's. I mean, we all know how the economy is right now, and if you want to, if you kind of have at a certain point, you have a certain imbalance of what you can and cannot do, right? You need to make more money, right? So if he's the only one doing the providing, he's got to do more shit. More shit means less time. Less time means less energy. Less time to put into doing what he can do, right? So then there's in some cases there becomes an influx of unappreciative. Like of appreciation, right? Oh, you're never home. I can't be home. I'm trying to make sure that I got this roof over our house. I'm trying to make sure that we can eat. I'm trying to make sure I got gas in the car. I'm making sure the car works, right? There's so much stuff that goes on certain fathers that it becomes difficult. And it's like, where's the appreciation at? I'm doing all this and I'm not being appreciative. It's like, what the fuck am I doing?
I think that's why more people not having kids.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can speak for myself because it's like, a lot of people that got kids can't afford them, and they kids I mean, I'm not trying to put nobody down, but they kids is missing out because they have to try so hard to provide
not their fault,
just
though.
the basics. I ain't saying it is.
I know I'm saying,
but them kids didn't ask to be here either. No. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's another conversation about family planning.
Yeah, and we said we're gonna have it. We got to just find the right person to have the conversation with,
because that's a conversation that don't be getting had when it's all of this, how hard it is, because it's gonna be hard with kids either way. But there's a very, very big lack of family planning within our community.
So and we're gonna move on to the next topic, but I want to ask this question: do you believe that there is and this is in general, we're not talking about individually, do you believe that women are resentful towards men because they cannot provide financially? So let me maybe give some context. Let me give some context, right? So men have been stereotyped or whatever. Men have been the providers for the majority of time, right? This is like the first time in our age where women are able to provide equally and if more, especially in the black community, right? Black women are the most educated demographic in the U.S., right? And in most times, women do out-earn men. I'm not saying on a globe. I'm just saying in the cases that we're saying now. If I am depending on you to provide, but I am able to provide more or equal to than you are, then why do I need you? And I don't need you to then be there if I'm able to do exactly what you're supposed to do. And if you're not going to provide anything else other than money, then I can do it on my own, because then with the money, I also have to deal with the arguments. I have to deal with the controlling aspect. I have to deal with pleasing you. I have to deal with your attitude. I have to deal with the attitude you bring in from work. So I'm just going to cut all that out and I'm just going to do it myself. Because I'm already taking care of the kids. I'm already paying all the bills. I already got my own car. I already got my degree. And I want to do what I want to do. And I don't want to hear what you got to say.
I think in a certain aspect, you hear men a lot of times say how, money affords you different opportunities and a different level, a different quality of, and I feel like on the other end, I feel like maybe women are starting to get to that place too, because y'all not the only ones with money no more. So the same way that men feel like they could be picky or they could set their standards based on how much they make and what they bring to the table.
Right.
Women is kind of saying the same thing, like on the reverse, but it seems like it's more of a problem when a woman says that, because I feel like what's being left out is like money, but what's being left out is character on both ends. You see men say sure. I get access to this type of woman because I have money, and it's like, okay, well, what about the character? But then now with women, it's like, well, shit, I got my own money, I got my, I'm bringing all this to the table. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes you get a little bit shallow to me in what you're expecting from a partner, because you're just looking at how you're equally yoked financially, mm-hmm. and not necessarily character wise, spiritual wise, emotional wise. Mm-hmm. And I'm just starting to see it on both sides, like men doing it, and now women we got our own shit and we doing it now too. We doing it back.
So, I'm over here laughing because I start thinking about some shit. Black women have privilege. Black women have a privilege over a lot of people, especially black men. Black women have the privilege of being able to stay in the house longer than us. Black women have the privilege of being able to stay at home, I'm sorry, when I say home, I'm talking about with the family and the parents.
Yeah, I got you.
Longer than we do, mm-hmm. right? So that means they can actually save more. That means they can actually, focus on the things they want to do more instead of having to be like, look, I have to be out, because the expectation of a man is we can't be living with our family. We barely can have roommates, right? Mm-hmm. When it comes to dating world. Because if we don't, we're a scrub. Oh, he still live with his parents, this and this and that. Women don't have that stigma. Right. Oh, she still live with her parents. Cool. That's fine. That's perfect. That's acceptable. Right. So that means
you think it's a black community? I think in the black community, it's kind of even if you live with your parents, you kind of look down on.
Hell no. Hell no.
I've seen both.
What do you think?
I think both.
I think that's the problem with our community. I definitely think that's the problem with our community.
I've seen both.
No, I've seen.
But I'm following what Photo be saying.
I've seen it completely outweigh to where it's a lot more acceptable for women to be, still at home, right? Especially at a longer period of time. Right. Okay. So that way they can actually stack more. They can save more. They actually have the ability to go to school and not have to work at the same time. Right. Because there's more of that babying, that more the supportiveness of you can. And it's not bad to date for black women to still be at home. It's not.
I understand.
I'm just overall. It's like no. We have to have a certain type of look.
I've seen both. So Steph, I've definitely seen what you're saying, but I also see what Photo be saying, because I've seen dads that will be overprotective of their daughters and would say, I don't want you to move out until you're comfortable to move out, or until you have somebody that's able to take care of you the way that I take care of you. But I've also seen, look, as soon as you're 18, you out.
Just in general, I don't know why black people do that.
So usually with that, it's based off of it's definitely the community that they're in, the kind of community and the kind of lifestyle they.
So you feel black women have a leg up,
yes,
to be able to get ahead in life more than black men.
Yes, overall, yes,
and that's
because we know that outside of just the education. Right, we know that we have to make money to be able to. We have a standard of we have to make more money, mm-hmm. right? We also need money now, right? Mm-hmm. Be able to do shit, because otherwise we don't want to look like a bum. We don't want to look like a scrub. We don't want to look less than anybody else. So we have to have that money. We have to work. So work becomes more important than trying to get an extra education. Right, we get in where we can fucking fit in for the most part, because a lot of times a lot of shit that we want to do we can't get in. We don't have that support system. Not everybody has the same support system. I mean, granted, I did, but not overall. Mm-hmm. Not everybody does. I've seen a lot more black women being more comfortable being at home than I've seen black men being comfortable at home. But every black man that I see being comfortable at home is looked down on because he looks at home.
I think the problem is that if you move in to be able to be desirable, then that would be your priority, to move out and make yourself desirable. But again, black women and just women in general, like, we don't have that problem because we're desirable either way. You know what I'm saying? Like either way, whether we got a job, don't got a job, somebody go. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody. So I get that part of it because so we don't have to prioritize making ourselves desirable. Like
focus on getting
you see what I'm saying? Like we don't have to. We could still do what we have to do and still date. Like if you want to date, you have to have your shit together as a man.
Right. Yeah. Men especially, we will not. I ain't gonna say we in general. Some men. You know what? That's actually funny because I actually had a conversation last night about this. But yeah, we want to get our stuff together to be able to date in court. Women usually want to get themselves together because they want to get themselves together.
Exactly. It's like we're not trying to be desirable to the opposite sex because we don't have to. We've never had to. You know, we don't have to work for it as hard as y'all do. And so my thing is, I think men, if you mentoring other young men, please mentor them into don't be prioritizing dating. Like, I feel like you should prioritize yourself. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like, again, like you're saying, if you don't want to be seen as a bum, to who? To women, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you see what I'm saying? Like,
because we're raised to be interdependent and women are raised to be independent. That's just how it's always been. And I had the conversation I had last night was everything that you watch or consume or you listen to for men is our entire existence is to save the woman or to take care of the woman or provide the woman. Super Mario, the whole premise, find princess and save her from the monster, right? Any movie, for the most part, the lead romance is man finds woman, man takes care of woman, or he courts her, or he that's always the premise.
The chase.
Yeah,
I never seen Lil Croft have to try to do anything for a man.
No,
it's the chase.
so for men, we're raised to do that. But I think what we're finding out is that because women are raised to be independent, a lot of the women don't need to be saved. So, and that's why I think there's a disconnect because some women think that because of their job or because of their salary, it makes them more desirable, but it makes them less desirable to us because if you're doing what I'm doing, there's nothing for me to do. Mm-hmm. There's no room for me if you are doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And some people look at it like I'm providing, but some people look at it like it's like a layer of control. Because if you're making the same amount I'm making, then now we are equal. Which, I mean, you should be equal anyway. But
that's
what I'm saying,
I'm like, what's wrong with that?
No, that's what it should be. But in a capitalistic society, whoever makes the money has the power.
And that's how, yeah.
Where we're at now is women saw that, but the conundrum is that you may have more say so in power, but for men it makes you less desirable. Because now instead of you should be using that power and that freedom and that you have again to be interdependent to help us grow, but a lot of women use that as kind of like an ace in their back pocket. Like if this nigga say anything that I don't like, I'm out. I already got my own apartment. If you ain't adding or if you ain't giving me something that I don't already got, then nigga, I don't want to talk to you, blah, 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 blah. And again, it is looking at somebody for their value when it comes to money. And I think that we're both
But men the difference is now though, is men have to actually be likable. And that's the hardest part for men now because the money ain't enough no more.
But women do too.
I didn't say that they don't. I'm just saying that men have a hard time grasping that because, and I feel like you said, it does go on both sides. Like people believe that they're desirable. They believe that they're such a good catch
just
based on the wrong
on paper.
Exactly. Yes. Because I'm like, if you've been a woman out here and you've dated people that look good on paper, you like, damn, I thought that checked every box, and you really are mind blown that it's like, but this motherfucker was trash though. Like it's kind of hard to be like, dang. But again, character.
Well, what boxes are we checking?
Well,
because if the box is
education,
degree,
you educated, job, all that kind of stuff,
money. Because I'm man, and I've seen videos where women will say, I will not date a plumber. I'm like, why? Because it's a social status. It's a social thing. Even if that plumber is making $150,000 a year, she would rather date a doctor or somebody that has a prestigious title because of the fact that it's a title. it's I'm dating a doctor, and it makes you seem like it's more important. You know what I mean?
But what if that doctor is an asshole?
Right.
So that's the problem that I feel like women are running into. And I think too, because it's that whole narrative of you choosing wrong, and people are basing you choosing wrong based on like, well, he didn't have this, and so you should have known that. And it's like, well, the person that did have this was the same exact way. So it's kind of like even with the whole Lori Harvey right now, with like, how could she possibly break up with him? Like, you know what I mean? And what are we basing it on? Basing it on the gifts, basing it on what it looked like,
basing it on what it looks like.
Or what about compatibility? What about longevity? And we have these conversations where we say that you have to look for certain things, and if this ain't working out, then you should. And then when people don't work out, we're automatically like, that he look good on paper, she's stupid. We don't know the inner workings of the relationship.
And that's why I don't get with nobody that unless I actually want to be with them forever.
Well, because we
perceive. I don't. That's why I'm saying the whole thing about the whole jumping up from different relationships to one to the next. It's just like, why are you being a serial monogamist?
So just don't put a title on it. Just date.
Not even just that. Like, don't put a title on it. Just do whatever. If you know that you're not going.
Well, do we know for a fact they had a title on it?
If you know for a fact that you don't want to be with this person if you don't know that you want to be with this person for the rest of your life, why even start something?
Well, so you saying never be boyfriend and girlfriend with somebody unless you're ready to get married?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Why the fuck not?
That don't make no sense.
Check this out.
Do that make sense?
Hold on. I need to hear what he got to say.
Listen.
I got to hear what he got to say.
Listen. You get with somebody, right? Especially if you're monogamous, right? You get with somebody, and with the intentions of, I want to be with this person for a while,
a long time,
right? For a long time,
okay,
right? So you're going to be putting all your focus and your energy, relationship energy, into this person,
okay,
right? With the intentions of what? Just for the meantime and in between time? What the fuck is the point?
see if it worked.
Why would you
Okay,
do
With that logic, why ever be engaged? Just go straight to being married.
Hold on. Because I need to understand. I think I got it. So what is the intention from the beginning? Is it to find somebody to be with for marriage, or is it just a date?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. I'm asking from the beginning. Like,
no, he's saying to be in a relationship, then the intention should be marriage to even become boyfriend and girlfriend.
Like you see
what I'm saying?
That's why there's a process in between before you get with somebody, right? You date. You figure out where you guys are at with shit. You guys start becoming exclusive or what, and then you guys be like, all right, cool, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, right? We're actually together because we're actually gonna be working on something together, right? Because I know, right? My intentions are to be with you.
Yeah, they still could not work though.
What I'm saying is, if you didn't have intentions of being with this person forever, why even try?
Okay, well, how do we know that was the case?
I'm
saying that we're assuming.
Well, I think
everybody's talking about
because the intention. I see what he's saying. He believes that she just dated him just because, and she never was serious. I don't know that.
No,
I'm saying, if you're in a relationship, don't stay in it if it ain't what you thought it was gonna be and it ain't working.
But if you're going with if you're talking about like, oh, everybody's talking about like, oh, he's kind of moving fast, or he wants to get married and she didn't want to get married. It's too soon. She wants to keep on dating. Why the fuck are you in a relationship if you want to keep dating? Why are you in a relationship if you want to keep dating?
Well, I don't know if that was the case.
That's what everybody was talking about, right?
That's the assumption.
Everybody was talking about like, oh, he wanted to get married. She didn't want to get married, so they cut it off and shit because he wasn't.
Well, not wanting to get married is not the same as saying you want to keep dating. I feel like, again, if the tables was turned, any man, we've had the conversation of how long it take to really know somebody before you get married, and nobody said less than a goddamn year. Nobody. Not one man. When we had that conversation at this table. Now, all of a sudden, when the tables is turned, she wrong for not saying, I don't want to get married right now.
I don't think I said that.
We're not talking about her getting married right now, but why
how
did
long
you break up?
How long
Hold on. What? So what's the question again?
If she talking about she don't want to get married, but they ain't breaking up entirely, the relationship is over. It's not like, okay, we're going to come back to it. Well, she wants to keep dating.
Because they both wanted different things.
Right.
Because he wanted something more serious, supposedly. And she wanted to, she was not ready to take that step.
Well, how was that not like, so my question is, if she's not ready to take that step, right? Why break up entirely?
I mean, I asked Tyson, I said, if you would have proposed and I said no, would you have still? He was like, no. That would have been just it. And I was like, damn.
It depends on why.
Well, because you got to be on the same page. If one person is dating for marriage and the other person is dating just to date in the meantime because they want somebody, they want companionship,
then you're wasting your time and the other person's time because you are actually blocking them from everybody. You're blocking yourself and them from somebody who wants to equal.
Well, have that conversation up front.
But
that's what I'm saying.
It may have been up front. I think that we switched into a totally different.
We
conversation.
sure did. I don't know how we got here, but we here now.
But damn, we got hella shit to talk about too. Sometimes it happens.
It does.
It does. But
certain situations could change.
Change your perspective.
Exactly. Or it could be like, this ain't necessarily going where I thought it was gonna go. Like at the end of the day, I think people need to. I get what you're saying. On one hand, I feel like definitely being intentional. We talk about that all the time.
For sure. I agree with that.
Date intentionally, be upfront, be on the same page, open communication, all of that.
Facts.
But at the end of the day, you can have all of that and it could still be like, this ain't really going where, because as you're doing things together as a couple, then that's when you start seeing different aspects of people, how they move in this type of situation, how they move in, you know what I mean? And you start seeing different things and you start seeing, we're not compatible on that. Like those things don't come up when you're just going out to the movies and shit. It just don't.
That's why you don't.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why you date but for a while before you start being exclusive. You start being together on certain shit and different doing things so that way you can start seeing certain signs.
Nah, it's not the same.
Look, I've known
because what you're speaking of is a situationship where basically you in a relationship damn near, but you ain't got no title on it. So we're talking about the same thing because you're saying date for a while. No, we basically in a situationship, and I could see certain things pop up before I ever put it. So there's no difference in it. A title and no title. That's it.
A situationship is kind of like exclusive without the title. I'm not saying be exclusive without the title. I'm talking about dating around.
A situationship.
Okay,
but a situation like what?
I think you look.
I'm not saying
a nigga can still do what he wants to do.
Both people can do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Listen,
that's what I'm talking about dating. That's what I'm saying. Don't be exclusive yet. You can date around. You can date multiple people. Try to figure out what it is that you want before you realize what it is that you want. And you can still be dating the same person, and they could be dating other people fucking too. But you're still getting.
So how are you really? Nah.
How you really?
Listen. You guys both have excellent points.
Because ain't no way you're dating intentionally for marriage if you date other people. You just not, to me personally. That's just my opinion.
I think where Steph disagrees, this is where Steph disagrees because I think I see what she's saying. But I understand what you're saying. Is at some point in the dating, you may find somebody that has potential to be a longer term relationship. So at that point, then you cut off everybody else and say, look, I want to intentionally put all of my time and effort into getting to know who you are to see if we can go the distance. Because if you're spreading your time and your energy, then you may not be able to get the information that you need to know from that specific person. It's just like long distance relationships. I hate long distance relationships because whenever you see the person, it's always, I ain't gonna say always, typically maybe 2-3 months in between. So when you see that person, it's always a good time. It's always a good time. I'm happy to see you. Your the heart eyes, all that. But you never really got a chance to get to know that person in maybe some conflict or in situations that around their friends, around their family, to see who that person really is. You can put on a front really well if you are only seeing that person sporadically.
Mind you, some people are different once they exclusive. Like I feel like a lot of times men and women, because it be all of this and then all of a sudden now we exclusively in a relationship and where's that person that I was dating when it was fun? Like where's that? Right. All the stuff that you was showing while we was dating. Right. Now we exclusive and you done switched up.
Right. But I do agree with Photo B as far as him saying that you should not have a title or be exclusive until you know exactly what you want and what you're striving for. So I think a combination of the both of what you guys are saying is best. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can be exclusive before you become boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's
you can
true.
be exclusive before becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. And that right there is still showing like, okay, cool. Let me see how you are exclusive before I be like, all right, I'm fully claiming you.
Gotcha.
But people act different. Even with marriage, sometimes people get married and it's like
that. Well, because the expectations change.
Exactly. And I feel like sometimes when people get that title, whether it's girlfriend and boyfriend or exclusive or whatever, sometimes you start to see the real.
That's where you have.
I really be believing that.
That's true.
And that's why I be feeling bad for the people that end up all the way married before they start, they see that, or they, 3, 4, 5 years into it.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
Right.
And I don't doubt that somebody could switch up, because sometimes people are like, you should have known, you should have seen this, you should have. Sometimes I believe some people do just straight up 180.
That's true.
That's where you have communication and understanding what it is that they want. What are your expectations? What do you see this relationship looking like? What are the roles? What are your expectations? What do you want? What are you expecting to give? What are you expecting to take? What are we sharing? What are we doing? There's that communication. So
it only goes so far, bro. I'm telling you, as a motherfucker that's been married for almost 6 years, all of those, like I said, you're gonna face things in your relationship and in just life in general that you cannot scenario way into being prepared for. You just cannot. Sometimes, like, literally, it's just like we're having kids. Like, you can have all of these ideas of what you gonna do until you actually doing it, and then it's like, oh shit, damn, this is different than what it's not the same. It's just a scenario right now. It just sounds good, and I'm not saying that it ain't right or wrong, but I'm saying in a relationship and in life, nigga, life ain't gonna go how you scenario it out. You can't scenario your way through life and think it's gonna go exactly the same. It absolutely is, but I'm telling you, all this shit sounds good in theory.
If the relationship is worth it, if the relationship is worth it, whatever scenario, you guys should be able to fight through that shit.
Right. If you have and this is where you guys, I agree with both of you. I agree with Steph, but I agree with Photo B, because if you don't have like values, or if you don't see things similarly, then it may be worth it to one person, but it may not be worth it to the other person.
Exactly.
So one person may be fighting their ass off to save the relationship. The other person might be like, I'm out. Because this is not what I wanted. This is not what I signed up for. This is not what I expected. But I think the problem, and we got to move on to the next thing. I think the problem is people have unrealistic expectations, and then they don't communicate those expectations. And in the fear of missing out on a good person or a good relationship, they don't speak on it. They just kind of keep it to themselves and be like, well, I care about this person. And really, it's not care. It's like you and less. And it's really, I don't want to miss out. So I'm just not going to say nothing. And I'm going to just kind of go with the flow. And then when it starting to become serious, then it's like, oh, now all of these serious issues start coming up. And you start speaking out on things. It's like, well, why didn't you say nothing at the beginning? Oh, well, because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Well, it is that big of a deal. If you're going to spend the rest of your life with somebody, it's that big of a deal.
Everything is that big a deal. And social media is fucking people up too, because social media tries to simplify everything. And it just ain't that damn simple. Everything.
I'll put an equation to it.
You know what I'm saying? Like
2 plus 2
and this is exactly, it is going to work out. Like, no, bro. It don't work out. And so people get into it and they're like, if it don't just work out or it don't add up to the memes that they've been seeing, they out.
Yeah.
Because they like, it's supposed to be easy. Yeah. I communicated it. Everything should be working. Like, nah, bro, it's a little bit, you're going to have to. Did
you comprehend?
You got to put a little, you know what I mean? It's more to it than that.
Well, and then do you agree? That's the biggest thing. You can communicate all day. And if somebody's like, and again, if somebody has grown up avoiding conflict, and if everything you say, they like, yeah, I agree. But really in the back of the head, they're like, I don't really agree with that. That it's at some point that is going to become an issue. And people just got to be more transparent and honest. That's why I agree with what Photo B is saying, is because you have to have those conversations. The thing that sucks is you don't know if somebody's being honest or not. And that's where I agree with taking your time. Time is on your side.
Yeah. And
you should be taking more time, because somebody could be telling you everything that they want to tell you. And
everything
I'm telling
you want to hear.
As with the social media age, it has produced chameleons where people will change their colors based on who they're around. And you got to be real careful of that. That's why I'm a proponent of longer term dating, engagements, all that, and being around who they around, being around their family, being around their friends, talking, seeing what's going on, because you need to see, is the person that's presented to me, is that who that person really is? Because if it's not, then we got an issue. But if it is, then that just confirms that, okay, this is why. Because like we always talk about falling in love with somebody. Okay, are you falling in love with the person, or are you falling in love with what was presented?
The representative. And
a lot of people get divorced or have issues in marriage because you fell in love with the representative.
And
not
the
actual
people
person.
I know, because I know a couple people that either got married before us or like around the same time as us that's getting divorced. A lot of them like, I wish I'd have took more time.
Facts.
And that's just honest to God truth.
But people wanna cuss me out and all that shit when I say don't be having sex too early. But oh no, you don't know. This is a new age, and this is blah blah. I need to test the car before I drive it. All right, nigga.
That's where we don't see eye to eye.
All right, nigga.
We be on the same page or something, but
I just said don't have sex too early. See? See? The little eyebrow raise.
I'm quiet over here on that one. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't busting myself out.
Politics over punani.
I said in my head, I'm saying.
Come on,
saying.
man. All right, man. Look, we like 50 minutes in.
Right.
We ain't gone over none of the show notes.
Yeah, what was it? I don't know how we be getting here, but hey, it's organic.
Okay, so look, happy Father's Day to all the real fathers out there. For those that are not active, we just want to encourage you to be active in your child's life by being present. Please, please, please. Happy June.
Oh, and possibly next year, Big Sean might be celebrating Father's Day.
Oh, I heard that.
I thought you were about to say you.
Oh,
I showed him. I was like, an announcement?
Beg your pardon.
no. Oh,
I beg your pardon.
I was gonna say not after that whole conversation about dating multiple people and keeping it open.
Hey,
Yes.
shit happens.
It has been
The words will still stand.
It has been reported on Black Twitter that Big Sean may be a father. Mm-hmm. Gene, they seen that she might be a little pregnant, so we gonna see. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I think that's one of the celebrity couples babies that we were actually.
They
looking
belong
forward to.
together.
They do.
I don't know why these just fucking around.
No, we know what it is.
Just some people. Some people are just meant to be together.
Yeah, I can't
but
talk shit.
sometimes it just ain't it. Sometimes they meant to be together and shit, but never meant to be together.
Well, you know what?
It gives a little kind of toxic to me. Just a little.
You know what? I think you're right. They're meant to be together from what we see, because they did break up for a reason. I don't know what the reason was, but
And I can't talk best because I broke up. I broke up with my husband when we was dating, so I can't say nothing. But they give a little
you
bit
can
of
just
toxic.
tell that they genuinely love each other.
That.
And that's what I say when I say that they're meant to be together. But sometimes you can love somebody and you're not meant to be together.
That's
kind of what we were saying.
I know a few situations that me. It'd be like that. Sometimes you just got that with that person and shit, but you just be like
Wrong time, wrong place.
wrong
Yeah,
place.
exactly.
It's just like the variables aren't varying.
Yeah.
And it could be,
Variables aren't
sometimes.
varying. I like
Yeah.
that.
I wish it was easier for men and women to be friends because I feel like in those instances, I know it ain't always possible. I feel like in those instances,
it
It is.
Some of my best friends are women. Stacy's one of my
No,
best
I
friends.
just mean as far as like you said, you have somebody that you vibe with that maybe probably
I got
should be
you.
a friendship.
I got you. I
So
got you. I got you.
think we always, when we link up with people, a lot of times it's all automatically starts out as an intention of dating. Most of the time.
Yeah,
I have friends that it started out that way, and we just realized we're just better off friends.
Yeah. That's pretty much how I ended up getting my female best friend. Try to holler at her and shit. She didn't. Later on, she ain't got mad at me, but then we ain't become cool again. And now it's my best friend and shit.
No, it works out like that.
No, it do.
The problem is when you get in your next relationship, then that becomes a problem.
It does because it's like,
how did you meet her?
you don't want to lie. Don't lie. That's the worst thing you can do.
Kind of slipped around a little bit.
Full on truth.
You got to be honest about it though. If you want to work, you got to be honest about
If
that.
you don't, if they find out any other way.
Yeah, honestly, transparency and complete honesty is actually fun as fuck. It's fun as fuck because they ain't be looking at you like, damn, you hella honest. I'm being real with you. You can't get mad at me. You can be mad, but you know the truth.
Can be. Some people
You
can
can be
handle the
mad,
truth.
but you know the truth. What you gonna do about it now?
Well, I think that kind of goes into what you were saying about like people acting like they don't have a problem with something, going with the flow. I think that's one of the situations where if you transparent about me and her used to talk or whatever, and they be like, oh, okay, try to act like they cool with it and feel away.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna come up.
Oh, for sure.
Eventually.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's where you get somebody you think they cool with what the situation is, and then all of a sudden it boils over.
You got to be a real secure person to be able to deal with a situation like that. Because even though you might trust your mate, you may not trust the other person. Mm-hmm. Because I've seen some petty women do some petty shit, even though they don't even want the dude. You're like, oh, I don't like your girlfriend. Sending texts like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like shit just to get under the other woman's skin. I was like, why are you doing that?
And even if it ain't that, sometimes it just triggers something within you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Either that's a soft spot for you, or you have a mistrust around that.
Or
So
you got
regardless of
cheated
what
on
that
with a
person is
friend.
doing,
Yeah.
it triggers something in you regardless.
Yeah, because a lot of especially with women, a lot of women feel like other women do shit out of spite.
Right, because that's how they viewing it.
Right, so it's hard to trust it because it's like, okay, so what you doing this for what? You doing all this for what?
Bruh.
Because we will make up a whole ass scenario.
I've been in the car.
For what?
I've been in the car in a drive home from an event where I've had that conversation. Oh, so
your
you
little
didn't see
friend?
what she was doing? What you mean? So you didn't see that she had your hand around your shoulder the whole time?
Man.
And that she was making faces at me? And
Nope.
she was licking her lips. And I'm like, what? I said,
ain't
where,
noticed
where
none of
was
that.
I?
Missed
Where
all
was
that.
I?
Miss all that. Like, look, I went to the skating rink, Thursday to the adult skating shit. Come to find out, there's a few girls who were watching me. I didn't realize that shit.
Oh, they gonna be watching.
Y'all do be oblivious. Like there's been
Oblivious
times where we
is
leave.
shit.
I be like, Tyson,
Nah, listen.
you didn't. You're not that funny. And she was that all. It's like you not that funny. You ain't peep that.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all. a secret.
I'm starting to learn.
I'ma tell y'all a
I'm like,
secret.
oh, you giggling on a hard
I'm
shot.
gonna tell y'all a secret. About maybe 7 to 8 times out of 10, niggas be seeing it. Niggas just don't want to admit it.
Well,
Niggas don't wanna admit it.
Hey,
I be
those
seeing it.
occasions, there are those occasions we do, but a lot of times,
Nah, I would say
I think we miss more than we. I think we miss more than we
want
catch.
to miss it because we
Nah.
know that shit gonna come up. And when you-
Exactly. And you really be honestly, y'all be looking at her like she crazy. You might want to chill. Like
Shit, nah, nigga. Nah, look,
Be trying to smooth it over.
Even single, I'll be missing shit. Like, word? Oh, you didn't see that? No.
That's because you know what? That's because they bad at flirting. I'll tell you that. Women
Oh
are
my
horrible.
God, yo. So when I shoot, right, I be telling the girls like, all right, I need you to flirt with the camera. They be like,
They don't know what to do. Women are horrible at flirting.
I be shooting strippers. I be shooting all these type of girls who don't know how to flirt. I'm like, how the hell you doing what you
Know
doing?
what?
When you know how to flirt?
When we do our live event, we gonna
We have a
do
flirt
that.
off.
I'm gonna
flirt.
call women. We
have a flirt
we're
one-on-one
gonna
class and shit. Like, how you not know how to
up
flirt?
and to show us your best flirting. Like,
Show us your
is
best flirt.
Spit your game. Women don't know. They don't know what to do.
Show what's your
yeah.
best flirt.
It's,
Like-
I told you it's that disconnect. Like that's why I say women got to get in touch with their sensuality, with their, you know what I mean, and not really be. I think they're embarrassed
never-
by it. You
no.
know what I mean? Or
No,
they're
no.
nervous.
Have
Well,
a conversation with
yeah.
the man about what men like.
No,
to
I'm
see.
talking about in
no.
the situation where
In the
he's
situation,
saying it's
no.
just kind of embarrassing.
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's awkward.
Yeah.
Well, because so here's what it is, right? Women are not used to rejection, so they are a lot more afraid than we are of rejection because that shit comes with the territory.
I don't know how
Being
y'all do
rejected
it.
because we've been used
Because
to
it's a
it.
numbers game.
It's a numbers game, right? We're used to that. You guys aren't used to that because you guys aren't told to flirt, to go date.
If I
Go
went up
find
to a
somebody.
dude and tried to holler and he was like, "No, thank you, I'm
done.
never coming outside."
You never
again."
come outside.
You know why?
Because you guys aren't used to that.
Women are trying to come in arenas that men normally have, and they're realizing that it's not as easy as what they think it is.
not.
There was a woman I saw. There was a YouTube video where she's bi, and she said, "Until I started dating women, I did not understand what men were saying." And she said, "And y'all are crazy as hell, and y'all don't know what the hell y'all want." And he said, "I used to always advocate for women." He said, "But they were fucking right." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Now you realize what the hell we be talking about." And you know what's crazy? Women know it too.
But they don't realize because they don't look from it's perspective. It's perspective.
Because the group chat conversations, or when they go out to Miami, where they go, and they be seeing how they friends be moving, they be like, "Damn."
Yep.
I be seeing.
Yep.
I be seeing why his ass don't like you.
Yep. I had this girl and I'm going. She
Listen. You got your mouth open. But
I was just shocked you said that.
Because it's
I
just- listen.
I don't know anything about this.
listen. Women will tell you all day, "I don't have women friends because I don't get along with women." But then when men say women be out here don't know, and they be like, "I don't know what you're talking about." You do know what
You
we're
do
talking
know
about.
what we're talking about.
You
Well, I don't know
do.
because I'm not one of those women. I have
not.
lots of female
But
friends.
you've heard of women not being able to maintain their friendships.
That's a red flag.
It is.
we talked about that.
But it's a red flag for us too.
Yeah.
That is true.
But yeah, I had this girl told me she ended up going on a date with this girl, and it wasn't easy. She's not used to being in our position
To have to impress.
open the door, right? Pull the chair out, right? Court and shit. Pick where you guys are fucking going on top of that. Oh my God. Y'all be like, y'all don't have no idea who gonna lead this shit. Y'all be like, now y'all see where the fuck we at with shit. Y'all don't know what the fuck y'all want to do. Y'all too used to us have to come up with shit. So
I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to do it. I'm glad I don't have to do it. Being a woman is amazing.
And they went to eat. They went to eat and the bill came and nobody knew who to grab it. They were like,
Beg your pardon.
I'm weak. Who invited who? Let's just
beg your
leave it at
pardon.
that.
I was so weak. They were like, and looking through the bag and shit.
Yeah, rejection is not my forte. And like with a lot of my friends, I be like, you did not shoot your shot. Like they'll go and like 2 pictures. That's supposed to mean something.
It don't
Dog.
mean shit. It don't mean shit.
Y'all gotta work on y'all flirting game, man.
Facts.
Oh, you didn't see I smiled at you? Okay. Is smiling flirting?
Look,
Like,
look.
I thought you were just having a good day.
It's hard. Okay. My here's the thing. My majority of the time I see women's mom at the gym, right? And that's almost the worst place.
Yeah,
That
don't
is
do
the
it.
absolute
Don't
worst
do
place.
it.
So, but I've had a few successes. I've had a few successes, right? But it's difficult because you don't want to be the weird nigga in the gym.
It's awkward.
And then you start becoming right. It's hella awkward because like I don't want to be the weird nigga and shit, but it's like I become so hard. I try so hard not to be the weird nigga. I become the awkward nigga.
So
'Cause now it's like,
the times that you did try, there was signals, or you just was like, shit, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I don't give a damn.
Look, it's a waiting game. Right? The gym is a waiting game, right? Because you gotta have patience. Because you know, if you go to your gym, right, and you see somebody at least 2-3 times at the many times that you've been there,
Facts.
you know they're regular, and you know you're gonna see them again,
Facts.
right? So, all right, cool. I got time, right? I got time. So you might end up seeing them in a workout or in a passing or whatever. You're gonna do something, right? And then at that point, when that door opens, quick introduction. Hey, how you doing? Okay, cool. All right, cool. I'll see you. Quick. Don't even try to get Instagram. Don't try to get no
You have to
number.
test the water.
Right,
You gotta
test the
test the
water
water first.
unless the conversation gets there that quick. Right, but if it's in passing, okay, I see you. Right, I was one girl. She ended up dropping like a damn like the key bracelet thing. Right, I'm like, is this yours? Like, yeah. Like, okay, I see you and drop over there. What's your name?
You gotta test the water first. And then what's funny is it?
No.
If you're a regular,
No, I'm saying that was good, but I can't do it.
but if you're a regular, the other regulars will watch you say something to it and then to the regular just to see if you are successful or not.
No, dead ass. That shit
So
happened.
I'm telling you, dog, it's so much anxiety because if you do not succeed, niggas is watching and they laughing. And if you do succeed, they be like, all right, bro, I see you, bro.
See,
Yeah,
no.
facts. I had one nigga tell me like, "Oh yeah, I see you chopping up with old girl." Like, yeah, it was quick.
Which means
easy.
he was watching.
Exactly. I can't.
right. He like,
Oh,
Like,
and
yeah.
then when niggas see that you got the green light, then they gonna try.
Oh no.
See,
Yeah, no, I could not. I'm not pursuing nobody.
there's levels to this.
it's levels. It's levels. And
It
it's
is.
it's
Oh
a
my
waiting.
God. It's so much
game.
cadence when it comes to this.
It's so much. It's so much.
And let's not even talk about the club.
Oh, the club. Nah. The club is a
Club is
game,
awkward too.
The club is awkward. Well, it's almost the same thing, right?
No,
but it's almost the same thing, but it's very short. So you don't have that patience, right? But
Because you ain't gonna see that person again, probably.
right. But you can still play it in a very patient way.
Look, you got to find some creative ass ways to holler at somebody in the club. That's how I got Candace. Well, she showed me some signals too, but you got to find some creative ways to be remembered. Because I would hate when I would have a dope ass conversation, we exchange numbers, blah 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 blah, and then she's like, okay, do I text her the next day? Do I wait a week? Do I wait 2 weeks? Because if I text too early, does it look like I'm desperate? If I wait too long, she's not gonna remember me. So it would always be like, I'll like wait maybe like 3-4 days. I'm like, hey, what's up? We met at the club, blah 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 blah. Oh, what were you wearing?
Look,
Oh God, look.
this is why we don't get numbers anymore.
Instagram.
We get Instagram.
Yes.
Reason why we get Instagram is because now we have something we can use to comment on
And reference.
all that, right?
Or to peep out the scene before you even
Before you get a
pursue
number
it
out.
any
Exactly,
further.
right? The stories are your tool, right? Because a lot of times girls like to post funny shit, post different things. There are so many different reactions you can have to anything. They can post something, mood. Oh yeah, a 100. Fire emoji. You don't even have to hit him with the hard eyes. You don't have to hit him with the hard eyes.
These niggas got it easy.
No.
They really do.
It is way easier. Let's not lie.
It's way easier.
It is way easier. And
right?
it's anonymous.
But-
Nobody sees it.
No, well, but it's only in between you.
No, I know what I'm saying.
Right.
It's
Well,
not
shit,
public.
now you can unsend shit too. Like, ain't even no screenshots. Screenshots ain't safe.
Right, but still though, but it's like it's still testing the waters, right? You sending certain things, all right? Are they reacting to your story, right? Are they, if you send them like, okay, are they reacting to like memes that you send them and shit? You know what I mean? There's this little, fishing, little bait real quick, see if you take a bite, you ain't biting, all right, I'm fishing over here, but still, it's a little furry emojis, hella different ways.
Easier, because we didn't have.
I'm so far out the game.
No, I didn't have it. We didn't have Instagram at that time. So this is what I did. I had to.
It had just started.
It had just started, so it wasn't big. So we were chopping it up, whatever. So I'm like, and I learned this in Vegas. So I brought this. You got to learn out of state game. So I'm like, I said, man, look, you look hella dope. I should take your picture. Took the picture, right? And now I showed her the picture. She's like, oh, yeah, I do look nice. I'm like, all right, yeah, you should give me your number so I can send you the picture. Got her.
Oh, hell no.
Because at first she was like, oh, I don't know about giving up my number. You can have my business card. I don't do no business card. So I'm like, all right, bet.
You know what? I think I dropped the ball on somebody because I gave her my business card. She thought I was only about... I was at Target. I was at Target. And it was in the checkout line. She looked at me, looked up, down, and she's like, "Oh, let's chop it up real quick." This is when I was in LA. Mm-hmm. So I was like, "Here's my card," and she just walked off. She looked like she was kind of like upset of shit. I was like,
yeah,
"Damn."
nigga.
Yeah.
I was like, "My bad. I wanted to let you know."
That doesn't give like
No.
interest.
But giving Instagram is almost like, it's kind of like I'm giving you my business card,
Like my
but
Instagram
I'm also
and my numbers on there.
Giving you, it's
giving you
more
like
personal.
interest. Yeah, because
I guess.
stories is where it goes down for sure. Mm-hmm. I done had a couple women try to hop in the stories one time. It's like, nah. All right, man.
That was a whole episode.
We an hour in.
Damn.
We ain't talking about Juneteenth. We ain't talking about Drake. I ain't tell these niggas what we talking about today.
See, that right there is exclusive content.
Exclusive content. Yeah. All right. So look, we might have to cut this episode a little bit down, but we are going to review the Drake album. We are going to talk about Omarion versus Mario. That might be pretty quick. We're going to talk about can men handle cheating, and we're also going to talk about DJ Akademiks and his comments about underage girls. So really quick. So we're going to just go right into it. So Drake album. No, I'm sorry. Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. We not feeling the commercialized Juneteenth, all this other shit, but I don't know what y'all niggas expected. They do it to everybody else, so why would they not do it to us? And we give our money up so freely, it was damn near a layup. Just luckily, nigga, we ain't going for the okie doke like we used to. Because I know Walmart did the ice cream and that shit got shut down.
I'm just glad I'm off on Monday.
I am.
That's it.
I use my
Me
floating
too.
holiday.
That's it. I'm off.
I'm off Monday and on Tuesday.
I heard that.
So there were some black-owned businesses that we offered to just shout out on the platform. We are black-owned as well, so we wanted to kind of just give them a shout-out, platform, some love, some admiration, just because we're all about black-owned businesses and we're all about black winning out here in these streets. So Steph's gonna go ahead and give us a list of those people that reached out to us, and we want to just give them some love.
All right, first up, we got A Love for Lavish, which is a luxury event planning and styling. She does children's parties, picnics, weddings, all that. So if you need some events done, some styling, some decor, hit her up. Also, we got J Glam Crafts. She is a local mompreneur and she specializes in trendy and custom tees. Hit her up. She has some really cute shirts on there and she has some Mommy and Me gear. So you can also hit her up. And then we also, last but not least, we have the law office of M. Lamb Kennicks, also known as the Compton Law Firm. So if you need you a lawyer, hit them up. We will put all of their information down in the description, their website, Instagrams, all that. So check them out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all. Please, man, if y'all gonna spend y'all money on Juneteenth to celebrate Juneteenth, please make sure that you are spending it with a black-owned business.
Period.
and not somebody that is trying to capitalize off of us. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into this new Drake album. We have a Drake enthusiast, a Drake expert on the panel. So we're going to just go ahead and kick it to you, Steph.
I gotta go first.
Well, Drake is your guy, right?
You know I love Drake. Drake could put out an album with ABCs and I'ma love it. But with this one, I'm personally not a big fan of house music. That's just me. But lyrically, I really like it. I do. And it's a few of them that I feel like the thing that I appreciate about Drake is that it does give me an opportunity to try some other genres. I like that about him. I know a lot of people say that he be biting and stealing and all that, but I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like he gives a platform to kind of like mainstream styles within our community that deserve to shine. And I feel like, for me personally, I feel like he does it in a good way. Like, you know what I mean? But that's just me. I'm probably biased, but I feel like he does it in a tasteful way.
I would agree.
So I'm here for it. I think a lot of the backlash is that people was expecting a hip hop album, period.
They was expecting Petty Drake.
Why are you expecting
There you go.
a surprise album?
Well, I mean, just what the expectation of what they believe Drake would put out. They was ready for some
They were ready for summertime Drake.
summertime Drake. Yeah. They were looking for some captions. Yeah. That's all they're looking for. But listen to the lyrics. There's some captions
But
in
I mean,
there.
this is still like a summertime, just not, you know, the usual summertime that we would expect, right? But people always want to expect, you know, this. Why are you people expecting a new old shit?
Right.
Right. That's why I'm like, you got to remember, like, he's not just an entertainer. He's an artist.
Yeah.
Right. So he's going to create shit.
Yeah.
Right. And just because it's not, you don't want to create the same thing over and over and over again. Right.
Ain't that what they said about his last album? Didn't they say it was like the same?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't that a complaint that it was like, it sounded the same as albums he already put out?
I don't remember.
I think I remember people saying that.
It was Drake.
Right.
It was Drake.
And then you put out something different.
And they're like, it's not Drake. But it's like, yo, like, you got to stop. You got to realize that the artists want to do new shit because it's going to be different. You can't expect people to give you, regurgitate you the same thing over and over again. That's what happened with Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean came out with another album and shit. They thought it was going to be another Novocaine, another Thinking About You. It wasn't. He created what he wanted to do and y'all ate him up. That's why he's not doing anything anymore because y'all don't appreciate the shit. Y'all not appreciate what people are putting out and realizing like, damn, I put my heart and work in this and y'all over here like, nah, I don't like this. Well, it's not for you.
And one thing, people, that whole honestly Nevermind joke, y'all wearing it out.
What joke?
That, he should have honestly Nevermind and did Nevermind put it out. The label should have said honestly Nevermind. I'm like, y'all, how many times y'all gonna?
Yeah, I saw that going around Twitter. I was honestly shocked at how many negative sentiment around the album.
Yeah, me too.
I was actually kind of surprised. I've learned not to read into the reviews or what people have to say before I listen. I listened, and honestly, I did not think it was a bad album. I thought it was. I mean, typically, what I've noticed that Drake sometimes does is some of his albums are more like a playlist. This album sonically sounded like an album. You can definitely tell that there was a lot of Afrobeat, Jersey Club influence. And what people need to realize that sound is in. And I saw a lot of people say, oh, it sounds like house music. House music is black music too. Like, we created all of it. So
like house music is black music over on the East on UK.
Yeah. So what I think Drake was doing with this album is obviously was experimenting a little bit, trying to get ahead of a sound. But I also think that people need to realize that Drake is no longer your artist. If you are personally thinking that Drake is making music for you, for one, you're not in college anymore. So that wave is over. Like,
I mean, the last album was college Drake.
I know, but the people that grew up with him, when you first listened to Drake, for the most part, for the most of his fan base, you were introduced to him in college. You were no longer in college. Drake has grown. You have grown.
That's true.
He is going to do different things. Drake is a business.
That.
Drake has over $1 billion probably invested in him, whether it be Nike, whether it be Apple, whether it be Universal, whoever's invested in him, he is a business. So as a business, you are going to venture out into new markets.
Yeah.
House music is big internationally.
Yep.
So I guarantee you that this will be probably a world. I'm sure that he's probably going to go.
It's
on
already
an
number
international
one.
tour. Why?
It's already number one on
And-
with the
music.
dance album.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised by that. So people got to start looking at Drake like the Beatles, like Michael Jackson, like he's in that territory. So he is not confined to hip hop and R&B any longer. But I do like that that the majority of the influence is still black music. Like
Yeah.
we can't, just because it doesn't fit your ear sonically doesn't mean that it's still not black music. So it's him entering into new markets. And again, if you don't like this kind of music, you're going to be sadly mistaken, because this is going to be the way for probably the next year or two.
It
and
is.
whenever you go to a club or if you go to anything that's top 40, this is the sound.
Yep.
So y'all acting like y'all don't know about
it
that.
definitely gave Vegas Club
Yes, top 40.
for sure. Vegas Club.
And that's what sells. All that EDM, all that stuff, that is global. You may not like it, but the masses do.
All the
And I
EDM
think-
festivals
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit.
I think this was a happy median between the masses and what Drake fans would like. There's songs
Exactly.
on there that your typical Drake song, Drake artists would like
Yeah.
Sticky. Everybody's gonna like Sticky.
Sticky
Yeah.
was cool. Same with what was
I like Falling Back.
Jimmy Cooks.
Falling Back is growing on me.
I
And you
like
know what's gonna
Falling
happen?
Back from the-
People are. This is gonna grow on people.
Right.
Every single song on the album, I could hear it on a commercial. I could hear it playing during NBA. Like it's a commercial mainstream album that the masses can consume. So
Facts. Movies.
mixtape Drake is gone, y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all, but he's in the realm of.
But like you said, you said off camera, like he already played with these kind of sounds already. Like this
Before,
not,
on Views
you know what I mean?
and- yeah,
Exactly.
it's not
even
new.
on the what was the song he had with Tim's? Like he always been like
Afro, yeah, and he's from Toronto.
nothing with this, nothing. Every single album has a song like this, damn near on it.
But
low
he's from
key.
Toronto. There is a huge Jamaican, Caribbean influence
Absolutely.
in that area. So I don't understand what the surprise is. Maybe because people, because he's saying a lot. But again, that Jersey Club bounce Afrobeat sound is in, and it's going to be in for a while. And I think you were saying off air that the Beyonce album may be somewhat in that realm of dance. And so, I mean,
That's what the reviews that have already come out, like the
Are
official
saying.
review, they're kind of giving like, it makes me want to get on the dance. Like a lot of people feel like it's gonna be a dance album, and that's why people were saying they feel like Drake rushed to put his out first. But I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either.
I don't believe
And
that.
we've been on lockdown for 2-3 years. People want to go out to the clubs and dance, and he just had a residency in Vegas.
Yeah,
I think that has a major influence on it too, doesn't it? Yeah. Matter of fact, the falling back, the falling back video, the second half of it, he's in a club after they get married, isn't he?
Oh, I ain't seen the video.
Oh, you ain't seen the video?
I just listened to the album.
Okay, so you guys gotta watch the video. But basically, what the first half is that he's getting married to like 26 or 27 IG models, something like that.
Oh, yeah,
and
I ain't
then,
seen
And then
this.
the second half of it, they're in a club like after the wedding.
Yeah,
so it's
okay.
like it's
Tristan
Vegas like
Thompson's in the
show.
Tristan
Okay.
yeah. And if people want a petty Drake, I think that was petty Drake. But the second half of it was him in the club with the lights flashing and everybody dancing. So
It's gonna be interesting to me to see if it is true that Beyonce's album is gonna be a house album.
I'm sure.
I want to see.
I'm sure there will be records on there that are.
Because a lot of people I've already seen like the please don't give us no Renaissance musical. I don't want all of that Negro spiritual. Give us R&B, Beyonce. And again, like you said, Beyonce is not.
I'm worried about y'all.
Exactly.
She
Like
don't
you said,
gotta do another
she's
record.
another one that, just like you said with Drake, is on another level now. Like, you know what I mean?
But you should not be surprised because Beyonce was not messing. She was experimenting with Afrocentric beats on Black is King. Mm-hmm. So the next progression, Afrocentric and Afrobeat and club and EDM and all that. It's all us. Like, I don't understand.
It's all in the same arena.
It's all in the same arena. And
So
you're going to be in the
I'm
club
just-
dancing to it anyway. So it don't really matter.
I'm just interested to see how it is accepted, because what I seen was people were saying that Drake rushed to put his out, and it's a dance house album, and then Beyonce's going to put hers out, but Beyonce's probably going to do the same thing, but it's going to be better executed. I'm like, how you know? It ain't even out yet.
Well, but his was a surprise album. We didn't know it was coming. Hers there's a whole rollout for it. So yeah, it's going to be executed better because it's an actual album, and she hasn't put out an album since
Hella long.
since Black is King, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't even know that was even considered. I mean, it is an album, but damn, that was like right when we first started, wasn't it? That was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. So again, I feel like
Niggas ain't had shit else to do, so I want to watch that.
it's either you don't like Drake doing house music or you just not feeling the sound.
And most niggas don't like house music. It's fine, but then Jersey Club is kind of house music.
I don't really. It ain't really my lane.
I look, I'm all for creativity, and
Me too.
I'm all for opening up. But I understand some people like, some people don't. But again,
I'm with Photo B. Give artists room, and I think not giving artists room and putting them in a box and having that expectation of them doing one thing is the reason why we still ain't got a album from SZA, and why we never got another album from Lauryn Hill, and they just rather just not put nothing out. That's what it kind of seems like, you know what I mean? Because of that pressure.
yeah, and it's different when you're an artist. Like, I'm not saying Drake is not an artist, but Drake is definitely artist / entertainer, where a lot of the things you can see are written for him.
Well,
or
yeah.
So I think, but like with like a SZA, things like that, yeah, they are very, well, Drake is too. They are very protective of their art. So yeah, it kind of puts them in a place where it's like, I don't know if I want to put this out because I don't know how it's going to be received. But again, I think Drake's in that point where it's like,
It don't matter. It's going number one
you're
either
going
way.
to consume it regardless because of how much people he has behind him. So yeah, I honestly, like the first listen, I was like, but I listened to it 2 or 3 more times, and and people got to like this quick, my microwave. I want to just get my reaction out first. Like, y'all need to stop doing that.
Ooh.
Listen to it in a car. Listen to it at your house. Listen to it in some headphones. It will start to grow on you. It's already grown on me.
It's definitely, it's a vibe. Especially
is.
in a good mood.
It is.
Just rocking.
It is.
And I think, like you said, it's the summer and people want turn up music. I think that's what and it's turn up music. It's just not the same kind of turn up
For
that
the
you
masses.
used to. Yeah,
For the masses.
that you
Yeah.
personally.
It's a dance album.
And I think too, like, remember we were saying that we're in that, even like with R&B and just all across the board, we in that toxic. People like toxic music.
Well,
You've always liked toxic music
the
one way or
executives are
another.
pushing the black toxic music, whether it be drill or whether it be the niggas ain't shit records or whether
Exactly.
it be, yeah.
So
this
those
was
are the-
refreshing. I wasn't bad. I was fine with me.
No,
I
I'm just saying in general, that's what people are looking for, the summer walkers with a message that
Well, that's
speaks
what I'm
to
saying.
the
They
toxicity
wanted-
they going through.
They wanted the petty Drake.
Exactly.
Yeah, but people still are going to gravitate towards what they want, regardless of what's being pushed. You ain't gotta consume it if you don't want to. There's definitely different options. Is you gotta just it's
What people gravitate to.
Right. It's hard. It may be harder for you to find it, but it's really not if you just put in just try. All right, what kind of artist do I like? All right, I like that artist. It's situated now to where like you can find so many artists that are similar to what you like that you don't even have to fuck with the toxic shit. If you want to stay away from the toxic shit, you can.
You can, but there's reasons why marketing dollars are put into certain records because they know that you're more likely to consume it because they're pushing it. If you hear a song over and over again on the NBA Finals or on TikTok, you know what I mean?
Or shit, even there's some songs I wouldn't even know if it wasn't because it was on
TikTok or something like that.
2K and
there you go. Yeah.
and that shit. Like when he playing them games, playing them same songs, and I hear it on the radio, and I know it because I done heard it a million damn times
Yeah.
on the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's everywhere. So
But I would agree that if you want to find it, that you can find it.
I have.
And then too, like I told you, that's why I felt like Hours and Hours blew up, because I was like, when was the last time we really had a love song
Right.
about liking somebody? Like everybody just, but that wouldn't have blew up if it didn't blow up on TikTok.
Exactly.
Like you said, wouldn't have been the money behind it
Right, exactly.
without that.
Exactly.
So,
And to me, this is a TikTok album too.
oh yeah. That's what somebody said that. They was like, y'all talking all this mess. Y'all about to be dancing to it on TikTok next week.
For sure. For sure. Sticky, Falling Back, definitely going to be TikTok. I'm sure that is probably on there, probably in the top 5, 10 now.
Already.
So we're going to see. I wasn't mad at it, but, you know.
Let us know what y'all think in the comments.
Please let us know what y'all
Yay
think.
or nay on the Drake album.
Matter of fact, let's start doing that. Out of 5. Let's rate it out of 5. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.
4 out of 5. Okay. I think we're kind of in the same range.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best.
It's not gonna be my favorite. And there's some Drake albums that aren't my favorite. That don't mean I didn't like them.
Right.
I just don't go back and listen to them as much.
Right.
I rarely listen to More Life, and I liked that album. I just don't really go back to it. I rarely. The one I don't listen to is the one with Future.
Scorpion. Oh yeah.
Listen to that. And everybody love that one. I do not.
As far as the replay value, this one may not have that. The DJ is gonna love this album, but as far as for me per se, probably not going to. But it's the same thing with Scorpion. I don't listen to Scorpion. I don't listen to More Life. I don't listen to Views. It's Take Care.
I listen to Scorpion.
Or
Nothing Was the Same. That's the
or
biggest
Nothing Was
one.
the Same. Those are the two that I tend to end up going.
And the first one.
But even then, like, you can see that he marries a sound. Like with Scorpion, it was like the Ty Dolla $ign on the second album. So you know, you guys already know how Drake ends up getting down. It was the Houston sound and the Bay Area sound, and you know he marries the sound, but he also gives credit to the people that were influenced.
That part.
So I'm all good with that. Keeping it real. DJ Akademiks. Oh boy.
My God.
All right, so we're gonna play a clip from DJ Akademiks. This was from 8 years ago on his YouTube channel, where some of the context has gotten lost. But I'm going to play both his clip from 8 years ago that has resurfaced and his response to how basically giving context behind it.
This an old clip?
Old clip.
Okay.
But it's still him.
And to keep it real, if you think about it in the bigger scheme of things, there's not much difference between a 20 or a 17 or a 21 and a 17. Just kind of mean one's a minor and one's not a minor. But I will say, listen, I adopted this rule, which I think it was fine. I said, listen, man, as long as a chick got a college ID, she's getting f***ed. I don't care if she's 17. I don't care if she's 17 and a half. I don't care if she just turned 17. She's going to get this dick.
All right.
And to keep it real.
That's the clip.
The fact that he said keep it real just makes it even better.
All right. And then let me go to him explaining what he was trying to say. And with the context, because there is some context to it.
Oh my God.
Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just.
It's only fair just to give the context,
Just to give
you
the
know.
context, yes.
Because you know Facebook will take your post down if it ain't no
It's
context.
Instagram is waiting for me to lay a claim on the page if I want. It's cool. So let me explain this. By the way, this is a clip from 10 years ago. I'm going to play the full context of the clip. And by the way, let's actually pull it up. Akademiks, Tiger.
Is it 10 years ago?
Kylie.
He said 10. It's really 8, but he's going to explain.
I got it right here. Okay?
Niggas always round up.
So about 8 years ago, right? I'll even put up the actual date. About 8 years ago, 2014, 8 years ago, right? I was doing a topic on my YouTube, a YouTube I don't use anymore, but it is my YouTube, that says Tyga denies being in a relationship with Kylie Jenner. Now, this was when everyone knew Kylie and Tyga were fucking around. Tyga was 24, Kylie was 17. Okay? So this is the context. And this is what's important. At no point did I ever say that I fucked somebody under 17 or under 18. I was given an example of how, and I want to give y'all this example before I play this whole clip. I'm going to play the full clip. I said in college, I said 17 becomes a gray area because people don't ask for IDs. There's some smart, or sometimes people start kindergarten early and they'll get to college when they're about to turn 18, but they'll turn 18 in January and they get there in September. When somebody's in college, and just like I'd say with high school, when somebody's in high school, if a nigga was in high school, I know somebody and maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm just going to be real. I know somebody who he had just turned 18 and he was dating like someone in a lesser class. This is high school. There's people who end up being 18 in high school. I was talking about being in an institution, so college or high school, where the ages are a little bit out of what is actually acceptable, right? And this is what I have to tell y'all, right? Somebody just said 4 months of the college year, some people are 17. It depends on when you're born. You know, that's all I was saying. When people go to college, and you'll hear in my full clip, people do not check IDs. No one in college, and if you've ever been to college, no one says, hey, how old are you? I've been to college. They're usually under the assumption, by the way, if you're in college, at least if you're doing 4 years, you're probably not over 21. Usually, right? Those people usually assume that the people they're dating or they're dealing with are of age. They usually, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I never used my license in college at all. It was mostly college ID. You almost looked at the college ID like it was a sign that you are of college age. Okay? So I want to play this video in full. And by the way, when people are this is the context I'm saying.
Okay, I think you guys get it.
Yeah.
So basically, saying in college, somebody could be 17 and you wouldn't know.
That's a fact. Based off that context, that's real, and it's almost on the same aspect of, you know, some of these girls who want to get fake IDs to get in the club. Mm-hmm. Nobody's asking for ID as soon as you get in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's that's how shit gets fucked up. And looking at it to where he's that's coming from an early 20s DJ Akademiks, not a 31-year-old DJ Akademiks. It's a little bit different because now it's like you're not 30, you're not 31 dealing with someone who's 17. When you're 23 dealing with someone like 17, it's a little bit not as ill. You know, it's still weird. Like you shouldn't be. What the fuck you doing dealing with a 17-year-old? But when you start putting in the context of being in college and not seeing the difference of the age because we're pretty much all in this and shit. When you're looked at as a college student, you're not looked as a minor. So I kind of get that context. It's still weird, but I get that context.
It, but again, certain things you just don't say.
You just don't say. But at the same time,
you know
like
what I
say,
mean? Am I wrong?
He was like 22, 23 when he said it.
Certain
he said 22, 23
say.
when he said it.
And that doesn't make it any better for me.
I get the context of how that could happen, but the way that he was saying it was as if he didn't care.
No,
that's what it came off as. Like, if you're 17 and you got a college ID, you're getting fucked. Like, you didn't say it as what we're saying of, well, shit, sometimes you possibly could end up talking to somebody that's younger than what you think they are. That's not the energy he was giving.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
And you said, I adopted this. You said, I started basically saying that I adopted this thinking. So you're admitting that, but then later said, oh, I never did it. Well, you said you adopted it.
If you adopted it, that possibly means you was putting it into play. I don't adopt an ideology to not apply it.
Yeah, and if you're 22, 23 years old, that's still...
No, you can adopt something and not apply it because it may just not happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
It
could not happen.
It
but
could not happen.
But adopting it to me is saying that you don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Adopting it to me means that you see nothing wrong with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Accepting a perspective or being like, I could see how that could happen is different than saying I'm gonna adopt this.
Yeah.
idea.
And I really try to put myself in his shoes. Maybe like this is 36-year-old me saying this.
Yeah.
And maybe around 22, 23 would I think the same thing? And I think I would.
Well,
because there was I think everybody, well, I can say everybody. Some people have been in situations where gray areas, right?
Yeah.
And I know I've been in the situations where I've had friends that have done this or done that has been kind of some gray area there, right? And it's always been, for the most part, for us or for my group of friends or people that I know or people that I've been in relationship with as far as friendship, it's been, well, I'm gonna just wait till she's 18. And it's kind of like, I do agree with him that there is some gray area there because it's like that's even saying that is like you kind of get some gray area. But I can see somebody being 19, 18 turning 19, 19 maybe turning 20, and you were dating somebody in high school, meaning you were in the same high school. You were 17, they were 15, or you were 16, they were 14. And then there is a time where you're going to be 19 and they're going to be 17. Or you're going to be 20 and they're going to be like on the brink of turning 18. Yeah. So in that situation, it's always been like, I gotta stop fucking with you, but when you turn 18, come like holler at me. Yeah,
sometimes it's at that point it's a little bit different because sometimes they got like the like with the Romeo and Juliet shit. Yeah, so it's like we already been in a relationship, we already have an established relationship beforehand, before it became this. So like it's not like I pursued you, like I'm not like 18, 19 and pursuing a high school kid. Like no, like we were already in high school. I think it
depends on where you live. Yeah, because certain places like the
age of consent.
Right, where a parent can't just be like, well, you 18 now and I don't want you dating my daughter, so I'm finna call the police now. Like if, like you said, if in the situation of there was already an established relationship while y'all was both underage, you can't just do people like that. Nah. Yeah. You know what I mean? I get that. But again, like I said, the intent and the delivery just did not give, it wasn't giving for me. And I wasn't like, and then my thing too is, with the whole 8 years ago and then the context and perspective, it's one thing to me to say something that's questionable, suspect, out of pocket, or to have thought a certain way at a certain time. But when now you are 30-something and you still doubling down on the same shit. So that's to me, like it's probably stuff that could come up about me that I'm like, yeah, I did think like that. Like if you go back and look at my tweets about R. Kelly and shit, come on now. It wasn't the same as how I feel right now, but I'm not going to sit up here and double down on it now. Yeah. No, that was out of pocket.
That's the thing too. Most of us 31-year-olds aren't fucking with anybody in their early 20s anyway. Yeah. So it's not like,
so we looking at it different.
Right. So it's not like I don't assume that he's still doing that and shit. But I mean like there's different aspects of what's acceptable. Because really as soon as you're 21, most people will assume that you're a free game to any fucking body because legally you are. Everybody else has an issue about it for whatever fucking perspective reason that they have, when in fact that they're not doing anything wrong. Like, oh, you guys don't have anything in common. I'm not here for commonality. I'm here most of the time when somebody's doing that and shit, it maybe just for some physical shit. Yeah. Or there might be some commonality and let them do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you dating this person who's hella young? Yeah. Yeah. Because I can.
Yeah, I think it was a post in the Reverb Nation where it went viral recently where the dude was saying you can't tell when these girls how old these girls are. They be looking older. Yeah. And mind you, he's an OG. My thing in that is, she ain't your age. That's how I kind of look at it. Yeah. Like regardless if she look older than what she is, she not 45. She ain't in her 30s. Like, come on now, there ain't enough makeup in the world that make her look your big grown age. So that'd be my thing of. There's no way for you to get caught up if you dating within your age range. When is that extreme? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if you dating in your age range,
but when it comes like late 20s, late 30s, early 30s and shit, that shit becomes really fucking treacherous.
Yeah, it does.
Because go ahead. There's a lot. There's a lot of girls who look grown as fuck, who act grown as fuck, who dress grown as fuck, but aren't. Yeah. And it's not even like. And it's like they don't. And the problem is there's no accountability for them either. They get to do that shit, and it's like they're
because
like,
why not?
Should be the parents,
right? But at the same time too, like if they're doing all this shit, like I said earlier, talking about the girls who end up getting fake IDs and get into the club and shit.
Oh well, yeah, that's out of pocket.
That's out of pocket, and they don't get in trouble. Yeah, they don't get in trouble if they end up fucking with a grown ass man because they grown ass man thought she was legal. You in a 21 up club, I'm thinking it's good. He still gets in trouble for being a fucking sex offender and shit because of her lies.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
no, I believe that. Yeah.
I've definitely been in that same exact situation where like we had kickbacks. This is like right out of high school. So we like 20, 21. No, we were drinking. So we were definitely 21, 22. And like, somebody comes through with some girls. The girls, like you guys see with the proms, like they look grown, like you wearing a grown wig or grown makeup. Which
the proms are like prime fucking examples.
Which isn't a problem. I don't have a problem with that. But like they came in and we thought they were of age because like, hey, you hanging out with older men, we thinking you older. They drinking, and then like one of them said something weird. He's like, oh man, this tastes like spicy peanut butter. I was like, what? And I was like, how old are you? And then she kind of like didn't answer. And I'm like, I said, nah. I said, who brought you? I said, we need to figure out what the hell's going on. And luckily my roommate had a younger brother. So we were like, you need to go hang out with him. And we gonna do the grown shit out here. And you don't need to be drinking. Cause you putting us in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
And you wanted to look grown and be in grown folks shit, but you not grown. And then when some grown folks stuff starts happening, then we wrong because we should have known that you were over 8. You know what I mean? So it's like
I feel like I was in that situation because I was skipped up a grade, so I was always younger than all of my friends.
Yeah.
So like when we graduated, I was still 17. Still 17. Like I didn't turn 18. Like everybody, we graduated 05. I didn't turn 18 till 06, July. So I'm like a whole year, all my friends going to the club and I can't go. Like, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I'm going to parties with them. I'm 17. They 18.
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
So I mean, but for me personally, I never lied about my age.
right.
So
And that's where the problem comes in a lot.
yeah, like I never was like, oh, I am 21. Like I did use a fake ID to get in the club to go see B2K, but
That's because
like, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like I'm not out here talking to men and actually saying, oh, I'm 21. Like, nah, like I think there is a response. I think we do need to, like you said, on both sides, it needs to be, do not be out here lying about your, like you need to tell girls not to be doing that.
Facts.
And on the other end, people need to be actually care about the age, because I know for me, motherfuckers did not care.
Yeah.
Did not care.
Oh no, and
I
think
never
that's
lied
more-
about my age, and they did not care.
I think that's more common.
Let's just keep it 100.
I think that's more common.
Like nobody, like literally at my job where I worked, because I had worked there since my senior year of high school, and I was working there for a couple years. Literally, when men flirted with me the whole time. All the grown ass men that worked there flirted with me the whole time. But when I was turning 18, it was like a countdown to my birthday.
Yeah.
And it was so like, now I'm looking back and I'm like, that was weird.
Yeah.
That these niggas was counting down to my birthday, and like on the actual day, everybody coming by my desk. Like it was weird.
That's hella weird.
So I'm like, it's. I feel like that's
Wait,
definitely.
how old were they?
Oh, they was grown. These is grown ass 40-year-old men that work at the dealership. Like this a car dealership.
That's weird.
These
dog.
is grown ass men. Like some of them even older than that, 50, 60,
Yeah, that's hella weird.
40. Like
That's hella weird.
there was a few of them that was kind of like in their 20s.
Yeah. Well, and you know what also makes this worse is the context of what he was talking about. He was talking about Tiger and Kylie Jenner, which Tiger was 24 and she's 17.
And we all know
That's
that was
not-
out of pocket.
That's not college, bruh.
This is just, we know that her parents don't give a damn and letting her do it.
Right. And like Tiger was like, it's predatory behavior. He knew she was going to have some bread. She's like, let me get to her before anybody else do. And I'm,
Has she? I don't even think she had got all her. Has she had got all her surgery and shit when they first started dating?
I don't know.
Because she was definitely like the least attractive
Oh, for sure.
out of all of them. So
But that's to me, that's the mindset that a bunch of these niggas use is I'm going to get her while she's young so I can groom her.
yep.
They may not think that, but it's like to me that's the only reason why you would want somebody that young.
Well, when they start kind of giving their reasons, it kind of be adding up. Like it don't be like, oh, I want somebody young because I want to groom her. It's I want somebody younger because they listen, they this, that. Then it'd be like, sounds like you want somebody that you can shape and mold.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's kind of interesting. It seemed like that angle was never brought up with the Michael B. Jordan and the Laura Harvey. Not saying that he was trying to groom her, but there was definitely an age difference.
And nobody, I feel like that's why when I seen that one think piece, I was like, I didn't really agree with everything she was saying, but I was like, somebody finally acknowledged the fact that there's a 10-year age difference, and he knew that age difference going in,
Oh, there
and
was
so
a
did
poster
she.
back. I remember that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So both of y'all knew that age difference going in. So if you are dating somebody that's older, they probably gonna be looking to settle down, and you should know that. And if you dating somebody younger, they probably not. Like that's just kind of like a assumption that you could have.
Yeah, at 25.
I don't see no 25-year-old man ready to get married after a year. That's just kind of how I look at it of dating. And
For the norm, no. And
No.
and if somebody would, I would highly recommend them to wait. Highly. 25?
nigga said highly.
I mean, no, because we talked about your brain is not even fully developed. I think it's, was it 25, 26? So you're just getting to, like, to me, you're just getting to the point where it's like, okay, like now my brain's fully developed. And then for me, like 25 to 30, that was kind of like you really kind of getting into your adulthood. I didn't really feel like I was an adult until like after 25, for sure.
And if you think about it, though, we're told that we're supposed to have it like, because you think back to, again, historically, people was getting married younger. They was already having families younger. So for us, it's a new generation, but it's still that same kind of stigma with you should have your shit together in your early 20s. When really, like you said, if your brain's not fully developed till 25, you should be spending that time figuring yourself out first. Most people was already married with multiple kids by 20, 22.
25, 26, yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'm like, shit, we didn't get married till I was 28.
Yeah, I was the same. I was around the same age, and once again, it's like because I felt like I was finally settling into my adulthood.
Because I mean, Photo B talked about it. Know what you want. If your brain's not fully developed by till 25, how do you know what you want?
And if you haven't experienced anything,
exactly.
Like most people, like if you want to say college, you're just not getting out of college.
And we were taught to believe that your 30s is old. Like,
hell no.
And I'm like, honestly, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, nigga, the 30s is cracking. I mean, the knees is cracking too, but
got back problems. Got tension headaches.
But that's real though.
But 30s is not old. Like that's
real.
what, especially for women. I understand. Like there is a biological clock for us, for sure. You know what I mean? I think they say you want to have your first kid before 35. I'm finna be 34 in like a couple weeks.
For sure.
So it's like there is that clock. You know, but again, you don't have to necessarily live by those parameters because it ain't a for show. But at the end of the day, it's like now that I feel like I'm just getting my damn groove.
Dog, listen, I was talking to somebody this other day. Niggas that's 40 and 50 look way different than what they used to look back then. Like even teachers. Like I'll be dropping off. I'll be dropping off in Leah. I'll be back in elementary school, and I'm like, I'll be dropping off the teacher. I'll be dropping off her. I'm like, that's your teacher? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, them new teachers is different because the teachers we had looked like grandmas. They had the bifocals.
So
teacher bay is a thing.
So I think that is a perspective, right? When we were younger, the 30s looked older.
For sure.
That is true.
Because we're also looking at how we looked, right? We were young. We know what our youth looked like. When we start looking at older people, they looked old.
Nah.
I want to say something, but I mean, I don't want to.
Because them dads have fanny packs and New Balances and shit like that. These 30, 40, 50 niggas, they look like regular, like us.
Yeah, because.
But
I
as
think
far as the teachers, though, like, if you got to think about it, like, most of our teachers was white. You know they don't age like us.
Yeah, that's pretty
I had
valid.
some black teachers, too.
I didn't.
I had a few. They looked old.
Or it could be that you're just getting younger teachers.
That too. And because, you know, you got to think about it.
They
like,
got to. Shit.
We're, like you said, if we're the most
Or teachers can't
educated,
fucking deal with them.
we have our degrees. Like, a lot of us are going into the teaching field. True. And a lot of us are getting degreed early and going straight into teaching.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe just we having younger teachers. But
I think also too is just like the need for teachers is at it's an all-time high.
My cousin is a principal, so I mean, and we around the same age. So when you really think about it, it's kind of like I sure didn't have no damn principal like me.
No, I
or that looked like me.
No, I mean, like I'm looking back at like at high school and shit. I'm like, yeah, they were around our age. Like they were. They just felt like they were older and shit because even think about it, like even when we were in high school, 24 was like old.
That's what I'm saying. And
like, you look old.
And teachers are getting caught sleeping with these damn students.
Yeah.
And that's always been happening, so that's nothing new.
No,
that's nothing new.
Really?
That's been
I'm talking about these. No, happening. But I mean, these teachers look like they attractive. Like I'm like, what the hell you sleep with a student for?
I don't know.
I wouldn't want to sleep with any of my teachers.
Shit.
I tell you.
And it's been I don't want to say it's not, but I feel like it's been mostly female teachers.
Yes.
Sleeping with young boys.
Yes.
Like what is wrong with y'all?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just a perspective. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's perspective. But it just seemed like 30 and 40 does not seem old. Fit for even I don't even say 40 and 50 does not seem old to me anymore. Like even like some of this. I mean, we always look at celebrities, but like even like a Angela Bassett. I mean, obviously, but she puts a lot of work into her body.
Right.
But she's like what, like almost 70, right?
I don't know. Let me Google.
So I think what it is when it comes to why these teachers, fuck around with these students is proximity. Listen.
Ain't no way.
Listen.
I don't
Check
give
this
a damn
out. No.
if I see you every day.
I know.
14,
I know.
15-year-old. They first of all they stink. That's number one. They always stink. That's the first thing. And number two, like what is attractive? I just don't see it.
It's the attention.
Okay.
It's the attention. Right? Because what happens is you got these students and shit who got the crushes on their teachers and shit, right? Who give them this attention, who give them this, who give them that. And when they're hella busy, because they have to deal with being at the school and then they have to deal with grading shit, they can't go nowhere. There's no options outside and shit. There ends up being that need for a feel of attention, right? So if you end up start getting attention from somebody, regardless of who it's from, if you're not getting it from anybody, you might take that risk.
That's sad.
It's sad.
That's
like
sad.
that. But it be like that.
Well,
and also Angela Bassett is 63.
Yeah. So okay. So I said closer to 70, but she don't look a day over 45.
Let's just keep it 100.
Vicinity is
so that's
real.
true. I think, like you said, I think it's perspective. Also, I think too, like for us, or what we think is old, kind of has to do with kind of like the lifespan. Like when I talk to a lot of people, like their grandparents like passed like really young. For Black people, like for me, my grandparents were like in their 80s. So for me, like when I look at,
is that young?
No, that's old.
Okay, I'm about to say, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what I'm saying. So, for me, like, people like, my grandma died at 65. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like, that's my thing. Like, when I look at
retirement age.
When I look at life, like, people, like, honestly, and a lot of times, like, our people, we die at our desk. We never retire. Like, something happened to us, and then we just never come back to work. So, I think that thing, too, like, that shifts your perspective on what old is if a lot of people in your family die early.
But that makes sense. Makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, I mean, because you're saying, because I forgot what the males, like, what are Black men's age?
Lifespan?
Life expectancy.
Let's see.
I think it's in their 60s. I don't think it's in their 70s. I think men may be in their 70s, but Black men, I think it's in their 60s. So, like, if you 30, bro, that's half your life.
Let's see. It says life expectancy. I think it says 78
for Black men.
No, I don't think that's U.S. though.
All right, we'll.
Because now I'm interested. It says for Black men it was 72 years old.
Black men, yeah.
For white women, it was 81. For Black women, it was 78.
So it decreased. So yeah, life expectancy among Black individuals in the U.S. it says Black individuals from 74.7 years to 71.87. Among white individuals, life expectancy decreased from 79.9 years to 77.6. So if that's all of Black people,
damn,
I would expect that Black men's is below that.
It dropped. From 2018.
It says among the major race and sex groups, white females continue to have the highest life expectancy at birth of 81 years old.
Oh, here it is right here.
Followed by Black women.
For those born in 2021, the average life expectancy at birth across Africa, was 63 years for males and 66 years for females. Average life expectancy globally was 71 years for males, 75 years for females in the mid-2021.
Yeah,
so
it says it. Well, yes.
Right here.
So about 71, right?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah, the one 2019. So
71. That's pretty young. So you retired.
If you retire at 65, right?
Some people retire at 62, but 65, I would say yeah, probably. So if you retire at 65, that means you got 6 years to live your life without working.
Shit, I'm retired now. Fuck that. Share this podcast, please. I'm trying to live my life.
Damn, dog, that's crazy.
Hey,
so you really working for your whole life? Yeah,
whole life.
While the average retirement age is 62, most people can't collect their full Social Security benefits until 67
Damn, I thought it was 65.
if you were born after 1960.
Damn. I thought it was 65. That's why I said if you want your full benefits, I thought it was 65. Damn, that's crazy.
So 62 for retirement, but 67 for full Social Security. If there's even a Social Security by the time
I was about to say that shit ain't even, that shit gone.
because they're saying by 2035 that there may not be.
You need to make
anything
your
like
own
that.
retirement plan.
Yeah.
That's what it needs to be. But
Exactly.
that takes planning,
Shit.
that takes consistency, that takes discipline.
Because
That
even
takes
my
the
mom,
conversation
like,
now.
You need to
my
figure
mom
out
was like,
something
I
to get residual
wish I knew
income.
what I knew now when I was your age. So that's why she really be on me about it.
I want to be in something in some very longevity residual income.
Fund your own retirement fund.
Got to.
But it don't help. People need to be. That's why I be telling people when you be looking for a job, look at total compensation, a pension, 401k matching, 457 matching, all that. You need to be asking all them questions.
Man, even then the 401k is shit because even when you take all that out, you still gotta get 50% back to the government.
No, you don't.
If you try to take it out early.
So on a Roth, so on a 457 Roth, it is pre-taxed.
Yep.
And then when you take it out, you don't have to pay any taxes on it.
I thought
No, you're right. On a 401k,
401k.
401k is taxed when you take it out,
Yeah.
but you're only taking out. So like if you only take out 10,000, then you would get taxed on the 10,000, whatever your tax bracket's at. You don't get taxed 50%. You get taxed 50% if you take it out early.
That's why I said if you take it out early, you get that 50%.
But a Roth 457 is pre-tax. So you pay the taxes before you put it in. So like if I put in 10,000 and then it grows to 100,000, I don't get taxed on the 100,000. I only get taxed on the 10,000 that I originally had put in. So it's always better to do a Roth.
Come on now. Preach.
So
Give them that information.
compound interest, man.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how DJ Akademiks rolled into a conversation about Roth IRAs, but
If y'all listen to this podcast, y'all know. Y'all be following us down the rabbit hole.
for sure, man. Speaking of rabbit holes, if y'all there's a YouTuber called the Scammer Payback.
No, but I keep seeing you post about it,
Dog.
so
Dog, YouTube be having me in a chokehold, man. I'll be on there
It
watching
do.
all kind of crap. I don't even know how I found it, but I'll be watching it. All right. Speaking of the internet, rabbit holes and YouTube and all that other stuff, we're going to get into the internet wins again. Let's see if this works. Oh, there we go.
See,
Go ahead.
This is a little post that I seen about what we were talking about earlier. So this girl's texting this guy. It's like, do you have your own spot, car, and a job? She's like, sorry for the interrogation. LOL. I'm just not into dating losers. I'm sure you can understand.
damn.
He says, I definitely understand and absolutely bought a house a while back. My dad helped me out a lot. But yeah, I have a house. I have a full-time job and 2 cars. LOL. One for strictly work, one for pleasure. Sounds like I got all going for you. He's like, yeah, thanks, love. So how about you? She's like, how about me what? Car, crib, job. She's like, why would I need one? That's why I'm looking for a man to take care of me and my kids. Men are providers. Didn't your mom ever teach you? I live with my mom. I get child support and no car yet. Problem?
Oh, no.
Keep telling you, consciousness over coochie, politics over punani.
He preaching with that
See
one.
what I'm saying?
Woo! All right, man. Yeah, we
what I'm
get to
saying?
the internet wins again. Internet wins again. Damn, man.
I'm screaming.
Where we talk about the hottest internet topics, etc., etc., etc. Really quick, Omarion versus Mario versus on Thursday. Question: is versus dead, and who are you predicting to win?
Versus is dead.
Okay, who do you predict to win between Omarion and Mario?
It's gonna be a tough one, honestly.
Really?
Tough. What you mean tough?
Soldier Boy voice. Mario, there's no chance that Mario's winning this.
He ain't.
What catalog is Marion going with? What do you have access to?
I
for
guarantee
this?
you that he
Even
will.
without the B2K bag, he's still gonna win.
I just don't like Mario. I'll just say it. I'm just biased. I don't like Mario.
Now I won't say all that.
I don't like him.
Wow.
Damn.
Let Me Love You?
I can't name you 5 songs.
Let Me Love You.
They play. That was. Look, we grew up in the radio
Braid
era.
my hair.
We grew up in the
2
radio.
Chainz?
Listen, we grew up in the radio era.
Just a friend.
And
Really?
no, the first track that you said was what?
I said Let Me Love You.
Oh God, they play that song out.
Because it's a bop forever.
It was. It's not no more. Listen, I'm going with the Marion, and versus is dead.
Versus.
Okay.
definitely dead.
The platform, the way that they have it set up is dead. You're not going to be able to get for the artists that wanted to go, they've already gone, and it's going to be hard for you to find artists that can go 20 hits deep.
Yep. They should just. I feel like they should adjust it, because if you take it from being 20 hits deep, then anybody could go low key. Well, not anybody could go, but more people could go.
Yeah, I would say go 10. Just go 10 songs deep.
Yeah, because I honestly I don't.
Or maybe 15.
I don't even know where they finna find 20 hits, because we're talking hits. So if you're just talking about songs off the album that people like, then that's different.
See, that's where they messed up by saying 20 hits for hits.
Yeah.
Hit for hit, everybody ain't got 20 hits.
Yeah.
And even when we've come up with good ideas for who could go, it'd be like, but they ain't got 20 hits. You know what I mean? So it kind of comes down to that. I think they're going to have to kind of restructure it.
Just go catalog for catalog.
Yeah, restructure it, kind of rebrand it a little bit. I think the switch from the platforms kind of messed it up low key, which was necessary because they needed. Instagram Live was not working.
It was a better, and it was better for the artist because of the investment.
Exactly.
Because everybody got a piece of it. So I like it. I like what they're doing, but I agree. They're going to have to rebrand it some shape, form, or
They're going to have to downsize it.
And I still support it.
Or just go catalog for catalog.
So what I'm thinking is for longevity, they're going to have to condense. They're going to have to go song for song versus artist for artist, because then you're going to have more artists going to get more variables of verses, to where instead of just being like, oh, who can go against this artist? Okay, instead of what song from this artist can go against this song?
So more like kind of how we was saying, like Lloyd and who do we say? Lloyd and Bobby Valentino would be a good matchup because of they're in a kind of the same genre, same lane. Kind of thing, because like you said, some of the matchups were kind of like, why do we have Snoop Dogg versus? I didn't understand that. Like, some people to me didn't match up.
I understood that one.
I didn't,
because they're friends. They both have the dog mantra.
Okay, I guess
because of their catalogs, they both had deep catalogs. But I understand what you're saying. Like, on paper, it didn't really make sense, but it ended up being one of the better verses.
Absolutely.
Though. And they both knew each other's songs. So, and I think no, because DMX came out of like 98. Snoop was earlier. But I liked it because it was a dog thing. It was Snoop Dogg and DMX did dog. So
some of them just didn't really hit to me. But like, I think, like you said, more genres and condensing it, rebranding. For this one, I'm going with Omarion. I went and listen. I always go listen. Whenever they announce a verse, I go listen to the Essentials album from those artists. And I'm like, I didn't have to. I already knew Omarion was going to win.
Yeah, and again, he's probably going to have to go into his B2K bag, which he can because he was in the group. And
Omarion do got some features too that I feel like people be forgetting about. And I think people be forgetting about him and Bow Wow Lil Run.
Yep.
You know, so it's things about.
Let Me Hold You Down.
Yeah, you know, Girlfriend. Like, we be forgetting about that Lil Run. That's Supposed to Be was a hit. He got the Chris Brown bag. So, you know.
That's true.
People be forgetting.
That's true. All right. So, who you going to go with, Photo?
I'm over looking at Mario Essentials right now. I'm like, how can you forget any of these? How can you forget about any of these crying out for me?
Ooh.
Come on, How Do I Breathe?
Ooh.
He was just I don't know. It's just his voice was just too whiny to me. I just don't like Mario.
That's what I said. I'm still gonna put some respect on his name. I'm still going with Omarion though.
And I'm not saying he doesn't have a good catalog. Just personally, I did not like listening to Mario. His voice was just too high pitched for me.
Okay.
Damn, there's more Mario songs on the Essentials.
That don't mean they better.
So you going with Mario?
I'm gonna go with Mario.
Go with Mario. All right. So we gonna see who wins. I think we need to start keeping track of who we pick.
Okay.
And we need to we need to figure out what we're gonna go. What's the official scorecard? Are we gonna go with the Revolt scorecard? Are we gonna go with the Billboard scorecard? How we gonna pick? Or do we go? Oh, here we go. We'll go. Well, they don't even watch it. We can use the Reverb Nation as a vote.
It used to be pop. Well, yeah, we could just have a vote in there, but it used to be pop. Remember, we had a live
That's
post.
We had nothing else to do.
Yeah, and I was about to say that during the pandemic, it was nothing else to do, and now that that's over, they're gonna have to try to find a way to keep people engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to condense it and go song for song versus a full 20 by 20.
I don't know if they can do song for song.
They can do song for song. They could do it probably like between like 2 to 5, just like in a little snippet and shit. But
But then you would have to all that setup and money and all the
No. I'm not saying they're not doing it like that. They're not going to do it like that. It's going to be a very rare thing for them to actually do it live. They're going to do more condensing so they can put out more stuff to where it's like, okay, they might end up doing like, say for example, they might do like a podcast, or they might just end up doing just putting up, just having like, you know how sometimes they end up doing like on YouTube, they might have the what's it called? They like the little fake the little fake superhero fights. Or like it's like hypotheticals, like if this person fights this, fight, they put all the facts and shit like that.
I can see
they might
that.
end up doing something like
Yeah,
that.
some more content.
Yeah.
Well, I like the platform, and I like how it just has to be catalog for catalog and not hit for hits, because you're running out of people that got hits. And I would like to see more more producer and songwriter battles than the artist battles as well.
Because you know what? To me, the producer battles were better just because there was an element of surprise still.
Yes, because you didn't know what they have done.
What they've done and what they've had their hand in.
Ones. Like when Jonta went against Neo, I was like, damn, I did not know that he wrote that. I didn't know he wrote that. And then what was dope is when the artists are also songwriters themselves. Like when Dream went, I was like, oh shit, he did that? And like, who else was that who did that? Teddy and Face. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I didn't know that Babyface wrote that. I didn't know Babyface wrote that. But he was also doing his own songs too.
Yeah.
Those were the best ones.
Those were the best ones. And I think too, like even recently, remember what Candy from Escape said Escape will win. I was like, well, was she factoring in the fact that she could use the shit that she done wrote on?
Yes.
Because her and Tiny done wrote
a lot.
No Scrubs and
right.
all bills and all, like, so I'm like, when you really looking at it like that, where people could come with those curveballs, you ain't ready. They wrote what was that? They basically had she had her whole hand in their Writings on the Wall album.
Why is TLC not gone yet?
Because it's just the two. They don't really do nothing no more because it's just them.
But they can still do it.
They ain't really did nothing.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so when you think like, I like that aspect, because I was like, y'all sleeping on Candy, because if she talking about she could use her Beyonce bag, I mean her Destiny's Child bag and a TLC bag and a whole bunch of other songs, they could pull out that W.
Yeah. Speaking of music, before we get on to the Kevin Gates, there was a clip from Tank that said he believes that Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Just before we get to that, I just want you guys' thoughts on that.
I agree.
I knew he was gonna say that.
I actually, when I first heard it, I disagreed, but I realized it was an emotional response. When I sat down and really thought about it, I actually agree with him.
I don't. More gifts and more talented is not the same thing to me.
What?
It's not.
See, I think Chris Brown does what Michael Jackson does, and more effortlessly than what Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had to put a lot of work and put, he had to put that into his craft. I think Michael Jackson is a better entertainer, obviously. But I think as far as talented wise, what Chris Brown has done as far as dance, the music, the acting, art.
What has Chris Brown done that is like an iconic moment that we're going to remember? Like what does he put out that is like has changed anything within?
See, but that's not talent.
That's not okay. So also that's also not. I also want to say that's not fair, because the reason being is because Michael Jackson's era wasn't as saturated, so there was a lot that you didn't have to do to change shit to be super, right? There wasn't that many. That wasn't that much competition, I would say.
I would definitely disagree with you on that.
Exactly.
Because that was during the time of real artistry, where you had James Brown, you had you had big artists that you had to get a stamp from before you move. You know what I mean? Like,
and this is back when you're actually in the studio doing your own shit.
Mm-hmm. I just think there may not have been as many competition, but they were bigger musicians and artists that you had to compete with. Prince,
first and foremost, because who really fucking with Prince? Nobody.
And that was the thing for the longest, right? And then not only that, he also had to compete with had to compete with the Beatles. Like, this was when black music was trying to get mainstream.
But mind you, he's also trying to shed the image that he already had.
Who?
Michael. Yeah.
You coming from Jackson 5 to creating your own lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would agree with you that obviously Michael has more iconic albums and works, but to me that does not mean talent. Because, like, if I compare, I don't know, LeBron James to a Michael Jordan, I think LeBron James is more talented, but I think Michael Jordan has accomplished more as far as in basketball, not outside of basketball. So I think the two are, to me, the two aren't mutually exclusive. Talent does not also read to me accomplishments, and accomplishments doesn't always mean that you have talent, because hard work definitely exceeds talent to me.
But are we basing this on what we see? Because I feel like it's different. Like, Tank knows Chris Brown personally. We grew up on Chris Brown. We go back and watch Michael Jackson. It's not the same to me. And as far as there's not as much information, I feel like to make that determination, because my thing is, I know what you're capable of because I see you do it.
Right.
I know what you're capable of because I see you do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, of course, somebody that comes after you that somebody's actually knows and actually working with, you're going to be like, he's more talented than Photo B. You're working with him. Right. You don't know what he's capable of really doing. Like, we have so much more access to artists and what they do.
I think that's fair.
So, I'm not going to go with that.
Based on the information that we have, I think that Chris Brown is more talented.
He's not.
I'm not changing my statement.
I didn't say you was. I'm just saying y'all wrong.
Hey, comment below. Who do you think is more talented, Chris Brown or Michael Jackson?
Okay, wait a minute. What are you basing your talent level
on? I mean, honestly, majority the product.
Okay. The product.
The product, like what you put out. You cannot, to me, be more talented than somebody who put out a better product than you. Okay. That's just my opinion.
So this is in my mind.
That's why I say he's very gifted. He could draw. That's because that was Tank's argument.
Yeah,
was
that's
that
talent, right?
He has more gifts, and that's why I said I don't feel like it's no.
So that's how I look at it. To me, I look at it in categories. So Michael Jackson, Chris Brown as, let's just say, their art as musicians. So Michael Jackson singing, Chris Brown singing. Who would you give that to?
I don't like Chris Brown.
No, I would agree with you. I would say Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah, I would say I'm not the one to ask.
Okay, so I would say you give that to Michael. Dancing, Chris Brown and Michael.
Chris.
Do you agree with that? Maybe. I think that's a push.
It's a different era too. Like that's what I'm saying.
But Chris Brown can do more styles of dancing because he went to like an art academy school to learn that, I would say. So I would say just for the argument, I would say Chris Brown wins on the dance category. So you got singing Mike, you got dancing Chris. Acting. I don't think Michael has done any acting, did he?
Yeah, he did The Wiz.
Oh, The Wiz. Okay.
But that wasn't.
It's not. Yeah.
I don't know if that counts too much.
So then, who would you give it to?
You have to give it to Chris.
Okay. Hip hop. Chris Brown can rap. Who would you give that to?
Got to give it to Chris.
The graffiti and art stuff that you were saying.
You got to give it to Chris.
So that's what I'm saying is when I say talented, Chris can do more.
Okay.
But what matters as far as music goes, Michael is better at music than what Chris Brown is. I'm just saying, as far as artistic wise, as far as your talent wise, if you want to call it gifts, if you want to say gifts wise,
he has more gifts.
He's more, and to me, that makes you more talented. Maybe not at music.
And to me, that's the only to me, what else would you compare them on?
Well, because art is art. And I think he's more.
Well, if you compare them on both the arts that they do, Chris Brown loses.
I would say on the singing. I wouldn't say on the dancing.
So really, you got three. You got three. You got the singing, you have the dancing, you have acting.
Well, and then you have the producing, you have the writing. I don't know what all Chris and what Michael did. I know Michael had a lot of songs written for him. I don't know what Chris Brown to the extent of what he writes and what he produces. Because if he writes and produces, I know Michael did. He produced, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, those are some of the issues.
I think I kind of look at it like, you know, even like right now, how like Steph Curry just won and they bringing up LeBron. If you still being brought up, you did something. You did something.
Steph?
Yeah, like if you still bringing up LeBron into the conversation and he nowhere to be found, then you did something.
See, but
and obviously you the blueprint if you're being brought up.
But I think that's my argument though. So they both have 4 championships, right? So the accomplishment. So you're saying the work, but who's more talented?
No. I'm just saying the fact that you're even comparing Chris Brown to Michael Jackson to me is the answer. A nigga that's out right now. We're in 2022. And Michael came out in when. So to me, that's the answer for me.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, even in those comparisons, I think it's still the same argument for me. Is both have the same accomplishments. Steph Curry just currently won, but as far as talent, I go by who does more, who can do more.
You know, it's fucked up when you start comparing it to like people who are still being brought up and shit, because it's like you can't. It's difficult. Because you never allow anybody to say that somebody was better than them after they died.
Because it doesn't. Because this is my thing, like the obsession with being better than somebody.
But who said better?
Or that's what I'm saying. What he's just saying. He said you won't allow somebody to be better than them. But why does it matter?
Well, because
in the grand scheme of things, let's just keep it 100.
It don't. But everybody wants to compare shit, right? We in a realm. We do comparing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not about like, everybody should be the best. No, we ain't here for participation points. We're not here for that. We're here talking about who's better. And if we always want to compare somebody who's gone, it kind of makes it unfair, because it almost seems like there's almost a bit of biasness and shit, because we're never ever. I don't think we'll ever hear anybody say this person is better than Tupac.
They already are.
They've
already done that. But
they won't allow that shit.
But when we talking about art,
to bring them up 20, 30 years later to still have them relevant in a greatness conversation.
You're still the blueprint. You're still, and that says something for what you contributed. My thing for me when it comes to art is I feel like it gets so watered down and people really can't appreciate art because they're too busy trying to compare it. And I said that just recently when Chloe Bailey just came out with her new song and people are saying, oh, well, when Normani drops, she gonna wash her. And I'm just like, y'all can't even enjoy what's out because you comparing it to some, same thing with Drake and Beyonce. You already comparing his album to her album and it ain't even out yet. So I think for me personally, I feel like art is not appreciated the way that it should be because it's only consumed to compare to something else.
It's a consumer's market.
A lot of times. And people listen with the ear of comparison of, is it better than Michael Jackson? Is it better than is it better than the last album? It's always listened to with the ear of comparison.
Yeah. It's good. That's good, but it's bad. Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, you should appreciate the art for what it is. Mm-hmm. But I think
good is your last bit of work.
I think if you're going to compare, you should compare the artist to their own work. Like, but even in that, like, it's different time, different environment, different feelings. So I just think, and especially with hip hop is a competitive sport. It's just competitive. That's just how it is. I don't know how the hell that happened. Okay. I think she's connected to the TV. But I don't know. I think this is a conversation for a different day. I just wanted to see who you guys thought was more talented. So you said Michael Jackson.
I'm the only Michael one at the table.
Photo B said
Chris.
I said Chris.
And I also want to add that Prince will wash all of them.
I agree. I think Prince is more talented.
Ain't nobody touching Prince. If we was talking Prince right now, I'd throw this whole table over.
I don't think anybody could.
Mm-mm.
What are we comparing that on?
Talent.
Everything.
No, just talent.
Talented. Ain't nobody fucking with Prince.
Are we doing the same categories, doing the same way we did with...
Don't start. Just move on. Just move on.
Well,
I'm just asking.
Just move on, because I'm not about to argue with you.
When it comes to, if you want to comparing, type of talent and shit, we're talking about, dancing, acting. We want to talk
so
about
you saying
art,
that Chris Brown is more talented than Prince?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
No.
We good.
No, I'm not saying either. I'm not saying it one way or another. I'm just talking about if we're trying to do a comparison. What are we doing the same way we do comparing Chris?
Well,
with,
if you don't,
with
if you already know that Chris Brown ain't more talented than Prince, the categories don't matter.
I never said that. I said I'm not saying anything.
Yes, for your yes, we would do it the same way, but we would have to include how many instruments can Prince play and how many instruments can Chris Brown play.
How many instruments can Chris Brown play?
I don't think he can play any that I know of. I've never seen him play an instrument, but I know Prince can play like almost every damn instrument that has ever been created. And he composed his own music. He produced his own music. He owned his own masters. That's
Owning
the other part.
owning masters.
That takes business acumen. That's talent.
Ah, damn.
And that was at a time where that was unheard of. As far as the fashion, influence.
Icon, everything, just period. Ain't nobody.
And then he wrote for other people. He produced for other people. Had a movie. Acted.
Mentored so many other artists.
People still watch Purple Rain to this day.
That's because people got anxiety and don't want to watch new shit.
Shut the hell up. He's the one that pushed Beyonce. Prince did.
He pushed everybody.
Exactly. That's why I said just his influence, even just on the industry.
He was in a Dave Chappelle skit.
He influenced her
Or his
to
character.
learning
His character.
to actually learning her craft, and like he really pushed her as far as like, no, you need to be able to write your own shit, compose your produce, play instruments. That's why she really put the time into her craft.
Well, and that's why him and Michael kind of had some issues. Because okay.
We gonna have to skip Kevin and Drika.
Okay, we can do this. You know what we should do? Somebody gave us the idea, and we should probably do it. We should hold one topic and do that on the live.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do that on the live. Honestly, we were probably all going to come to the same conclusion on it anyway, but we'll save it for the live because we had 2 hours and 20 minutes anyway.
And just to let y'all know, we're gonna be talking about Kevin Gates and Drika, and we're gonna be talking about can men handle when women cheat back?
Yes. When they yes.
And is it possible to cheat if you're in an open relationship?
See, was that ever confirmed? See, I need to do my research because I'm not too sure whether that was confirmed or not. It sounded
We'll
like
be
it
ready
was.
on the live.
We'll be ready on the live. All right. So it is, what is today? Today's the 20th? 18th. So Monday. Are we going to drop Monday or Tuesday?
Monday. People going to be at home.
Drop Monday. Okay. So for those that are listening, you will be listening to this on Monday. I'm going to say happy Thanksgiving. Happy Juneteenth and happy Father's Day.
Yes.
But by the time you listen to it, I know most people celebrate. I think they're celebrating Juneteenth Monday, and then they're celebrating Father's Day on Sunday. So by the time you listen to it, it will be Juneteenth. Please check out the businesses that we shouted out earlier. And please appreciate your fathers or father figures that have been in your life. And we will see y'all next episode, which will be our 50th episode. The Big 5-0.
Big 5-0.
But we want to just thank y'all for rocking with us. We definitely appreciate y'all. And I want to just hit this home. Please, please, please. If you're going to spend money for Juneteenth, please make sure that it is a Black-owned business or something that will directly elevate or impact a Black creator or content creator, however you guys want to put it. So, but yeah, I think this was a good episode. Welcome back, Steph. And that's all I got to say, really.
We'll see y'all
We
next
ain't got
one.
no. Oh, hold on, man. Hold on. I think this is relevant to what is going on right now.
What?
Because we got to do the hip hop.
Oh, yeah, I
affirmation.
forgot. I was supposed to be doing
Hip-hop
that.
affirmation. Oh my gosh. Here he goes. So the hip hop affirmation for today is "Wipe me down."
Ah.
I just want to read this because gas is so high. We still riding on chrome. We pulling up, my luck. I pull up to the club, VIP, gas tank on E, but all drinks on me. Wipe me down.
Good plan.
I know we kind of joking, but that is an affirmation.
It is.
Pulling up to the club, VIP, gas tank on E, all drinks on me.
Wipe me down.
Nigga, you gotta be a crazy nigga to pull up to the
That's faith.
club.
That's one of those.
That's
look,
faith.
I know I'm gonna get there, and that's all I need to know.
That's that mustard
Getting
seed.
away from it, you getting home is different.
Dog, but that like on
That's
some
like-
real like on some I don't even want to even make this longer, but on some real shit, like the affirmation of like black people, like we gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? Like it don't matter like what I got going on in my situation, like we still gonna have a good time and we still gonna laugh and we still gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
we already know that. That's why that one Kendrick, was that Kendrick Lamar? We gonna be all right. Like that man's hit.
shit. Wipe me down,
That
dog.
hit different.
We gonna be all right, but it sucks being broke when it ain't all right.
Yeah, it do.
It's
But
going to be all right, but
we
until
still
then,
we still find a way to have a good time. I remember
We
when
do.
Wipe Me Down used to come on, bro. That shit used to make you feel like you was the flyest nigga in the club.
Come on now.
shit, now I just stay the fuck at home.
We ain't even
out
trying to
includes trying to figure out that gas, and gas is not the same.
It ain't.
$20 was cool. You could put that in the car and shit just in case and shit. You might put $5 in your glove compartment back in the day and be like, all right, cool, I'll figure it out later down the line and shit. But
Just in
now, like,
case
nigga, you
I
might
need it.
You feel me? You need $100 to stash off in your fucking car.
That
Just do that
$5 ain't
shit.
gonna get you to the house. Like
$5
I be
get you to
telling
the
people,
light.
like the other day, I just randomly had went on this Destiny's Child kick while I was listening to their old albums. When I tell you Survivor came on, that song hit different in your 30s.
When you get older, yeah.
I was damn near about to start shouting in the kitchen. Like, bruh, I felt that in my soul. Like, I'ma survive.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, that shit hit different. We was young. We was just singing, having fun. Nah.
Yeah, gas be hitting different, dog. Oh my
Man.
god. I don't even know what gas like what would you consider gas money now? Like when you like somebody pick you up and you giving them gas money?
40 at least.
At least.
It depending on where you going, maybe 50.
Damn.
I don't give a damn. My shit premium.
I mean,
You on that thing.
I mean, I me too.
This shit. So exactly, you should be agreeing with me.
Depending on how far they going.
It's damn near $7 a gallon. Somebody just I told you they spent like what $118 for 17 gallons, and you think 50 ain't gas money? And the gas ain't hitting like it was. That gas ain't stretching.
50 gets me to a half a tank.
Yeah. That's half a tank.
Man, if
you-
I'm taking
if-
you from South Sac to Elk Grove, I'm charging you at least $35.
I'm taking an Uber. Fuck you. You tripping. You said 35 from South Sac to Elk Grove. What part of what Elk Grove? Which Elk Grove? She said
Elk Grove Boulevard.
She said down Franklin.
Yeah.
She said if I gotta take you from Macro Franklin to Laguna Franklin, that's
If I
$35.
pass up Delta Shores, $35.
Damn. That is deep.
And I live off Florida.
I ain't asking you for shit.
That's deep.
I
Don't
ain't
ask
asking
Steph
you
for
for
no
shit. Hell no.
Hell to the
Next
no.
time if I need to ride, hey Steph, I'm just going
You know what's
Uber.
crazy is that like right when gas started getting crazy, that's when I had to start going back to the office. Mind you, we went back in the office in May.
Yeah.
I work in the East.
Like
Right.
Rancho Cordova?
I work right next to Sac State, and I
Okay.
live in South Sac.
It's off of how?
That mess hurt my feelings. I was like, why y'all want to bring us back now?
Yeah.
I done got a new car, premium gas, and got to go from the South to the East.
You know what? Like on some real like, if you're a business owner or manager, however you want to say it, if people had to stay home because of the pandemic, dog, this is a pandemic. Like if I can work from home, let me work from home. Cause you spending like, dog, I work in Granite Bay. I'm literally spending maybe $150 a week.
That's insane. That is insane.
It may be less than that, but it's
We need a gas stipend.
But it's pretty damn close to
You
that.
said $150 a week?
Maybe that.
Lucky you.
That's insane. And you know what? Like, we could have been at home. They just wanted us. I was only going in 3 days a week, so let me not complain too hard. But we literally went back the beginning of May. It's getting towards the end of June?
Mm-hmm.
We already back at home. Yeah. COVID instantly.
Yeah.
We should have been at home anyway.
Should have just stayed at home. If you can work from home, then you should be able to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah, but they're not having that.
No.
It's money in the real estate.
They want eyes on you.
That's
no,
true.
it's not even that. It's the money in the real estate. The company wants people in the buildings and shit because that's money.
Well, that's part of it. The other part of it is that niggas wasn't doing what they supposed to be doing. Niggas was not getting their work done.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Niggas was
But the
grocery
business
shopping.
still good.
Niggas was
Okay, well, I'm
working
still
out.
checking my email.
No, I know, but
I'm getting my hair braided, but my computer right here.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. But they not paying you to do that, though.
But you know what? Think about it, though. Like, even if I didn't, like, there's times I would sit at work and just be on the computer and have to like, oh, shoot, let me take my break. Like, you know what I mean? At home, it was even worse. Like, sometimes I would get on the computer. I'm like, I never even did nothing for 4 hours straight.
Take a break, yeah.
Because you're at home and you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I would like to get things that I couldn't do. Like, when I'm at work, when I take my break, I can't go do my dishes. I gotta work all day and then come home and do dishes and do all these different things that I could be doing on my breaks.
Afterwards. Yeah. Then you could do shit afterwards when you're done with work.
That's true.
Me. I haven't read them. I never really enjoy reading. It's just not my thing. My boss, Laura, those are emails and this is your job.
Yeah, that's how I be feeling. I do be feeling like when I hear that email sound, I'm like, look, let me this you working. You getting the attitude.
Yeah. All right, y'all, man. We out. Shout out to the people that work the 9 to 5s that be listening at work.
Man.
Peace.
We out.
Let's go. If you just let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If you just let go.